There's a good look at the stadium here. They expected a sellout crowd, which would be up around, what, 49,000 or so?
That's right.
But it looks to me like it is not.
Well,
I see a lot of empty seats.
The parking lot was full 2 hours ago, so maybe they're just having a tough time breaking away from the tailgate parties getting into the stadium.
Okay, Lee Johnson back to kick off for Brigham Young. It's the first league game of the year for BYU. For Hawaii, their second one. Today, we have learned Utah defeated the Air Force Academy 28-17 in a league game. Good win for the University of Utah Utes. They may have established themselves. In fact, they did. They're a definite contender now.
I think they're really the favorite to challenge for the WAC title right now, because both Hawaii, if they lose tonight, and Air Force, the two top teams we talked about earlier that have lost 2 games already.
We also remembered the other team that lost today, Steve, Miami.
That's right. A little embarrassing. I want to make a point about who lost today, and I can't remember who did it.
Okay, BYU kicking off to Hawaii. Hawaii's had a great deal of difficulty so far this year generating any offense. Through the years, they've had good running games, and they just haven't done anything with their running game. In fact, on offense, Hawaii's averaging only 50 yards a game rushing.
That's not their game, too. They're a multiple offense. They'll pass and run at the same amount, and hopefully they'll be able to get that running game going tonight.
Here's the kickoff to the 1-yard line. Taken there, 5-10, up to the 15, up to the 20, and down to the 23-yard line. Good hard hit for BYU as Walsh returns the football. And for the Cougars of BYU, first one there was John Bechtold.
Boy, he really hit him, stuck him really well. It's very important that BYU solidifies their number 4 ranking early here, so they make believers out of Hawaii. Right now, Hawaii's going to go out. If they let the game slip away from them, then that number 4 ranking, all the prestige of it kind of disappears, and now it's an equal match. So it's important that BYU establishes that number 4 ranking here in the first series.
21-yard punt return or kickoff return, and Hawaii has the ball, 1st and 10. Raphael Cherry is the quarterback. They're at the 22-yard line. Cherry with the ball. It's a pitchback. Running play on the first one. It's turned inside, and he's dropped for a loss. Kurt Gavea, who's from right here, turned the play inside.
Boy, I tell you, Jay, Kurt is so quick that they're going to have a tough time cutting him in. Tulsa tried to do it, Baylor tried to do it, and Pittsburgh tried to do it, and they all were unsuccessful. So Kurt Gavea is a very tough outside linebacker.
Linebackers, White, Allen, Whittingham, and Gavea starting for BYU. Allen and Sprouse the corners, Heyman and Morrell deep. Hamilton, Smith, and Herman up front. It's 2nd down and about 10.5 yards to go. I formation. Cherry with the ball, a pitch back the other way. He's looking to throw the ball, gets it off under pressure, and it is caught. At midfield, it'll be a score. No make. They'll catch him. They'll catch him down at the 20-yard line. So that was a pitch back that time. And they pitched it back to number 10, William Bell, and he passed downfield for a big gainer for Hawaii.
Jay, that was well covered. Sprouse and Mark Allen were right there along with Kyle Morrell. But as you'll see, he's got a run-pass option. He'll check out to see if he has a man downfield open, and he thinks he does. He lets it go. Actually, he's well covered right there. But the ball's behind. He turns on Steve Heyman, and it's a great play. It's just unfortunate that ball was on the outside, but it's a great pass to the open side.
62-yard gain.
Really a nice play. The man it was well covered. It really was, but the running back put it to the right side, and that was where the ball had to be.
1st and 10 on the Brigham Young University 13-yard line, so a big gainer. Cherry running the team, trying to get a score in a hurry for Hawaii. Cherry will pass on 1st down. He slips the tackles, and now is down at the 5-yard or the 10-yard line now. Check that, the 15. At the 15. It looked like they had him for a sack back to the 18.
It's really important that the offensive line of Hawaii hasn't really established themselves this year. They've let a lot of people come in and sack Raphael Cherry, but Cherry is very elusive. It's important that those defensive linemen, Larry Hamilton, Brad Smith, and Jim Herman, hit Cherry in his legs to put him down. They can't go for the ball or the head. Cherry will just duck underneath like he did that time, and he's going to get away and gain some yardage. They should have had a sack there. They've got to go for the legs.
It's on the 14-yard line now, 2nd and 8. For the University of Hawaii. First quarter, first offensive series. Cherry gives the ball up the middle. Pretty good run this time. Down to the 10-yard line is number 30 for the University of Hawaii. That's Fa'ola, the fullback.
We're going to have a great time with some of these names tonight, but we're kind of used to it because BYU's got so many Samoan and Hawaiian players.
Pretty good connection here in the islands for BYU. 3rd down for Hawaii, 2 yards to go on the 10-yard line. As Steve pointed out, that pass play worked because it was thrown to the wrong side of the receiver.
It really was. It was well covered by Steve Heyman, and Kyle Morrell was right there, but it was to the offside, and that's all he had to do was turn around and catch the ball.
3rd down and 2 for Hawaii on the 10-yard line. Off to the left side, and I don't know if he got the first down. It'll be very close. He stumbled as he got the line of scrimmage. Carrying the football this time was Number 33, Marco Johnson, who's playing hurt.
Here's a big decision for Dick Tomey right early in the game. Personally, I think he ought to go for 3 points. I guess they'll measure. Personally, I think they had to go for 3 points, establish themselves early. They had a nice drive, get some points out of it, because BYU's got a history of taking that 4th down and stuffing it, and then they come away with nothing. Emotionally, it's important that they get some points here.
Cherry was motioning over to the sidelines to his coach. No, keep the field goal unit there. We want to go for it. First, you have to measure and see if it's a first down. It is not.
Every quarterback wants to go for it, Jay. That's nothing that I'd be disappointed if he started to run off the field. Every quarterback wants to go for that 4th down play.
4th down, and they're pretty close to a yard away. About 3/4 of a yard. Inside the 10-yard line. Back inside the 9-yard line. It's about the 8.5-yard line. 4th down, and almost a yard to go for the first down. They will go for it. BYU really loads up the line. Cherry, he fumbled the football. Cherry fumbled the ball, and I think BYU has it. The Cougars say they do. In fact, there are 2 BYU players on the bottom fighting for that ball, Gouveia and Morrell. And Steve, I think you called it. That could hurt Hawaii.
I'll tell you. It's tough to say. I think Cherry would have had the first down if he would have kept the ball with them, but that's the kind of play that now Hawaii, they walk up the field and they really don't get anything accomplished by it.
Okay, BYU, as you see, they covered. It's hard to tell there. There's a big pileup, but the Cougars right away, you could tell they thought they had the ball.
Hindsight is 20/20, Jay, but I just really believe he should have gotten the points and then be settled with that.
1st and 10, Brigham Young on their own 9-yard line. Robbie Bosco directing traffic for the first time. Heimuli is the fullback, the only setback right now. Bosco will throw on first down, completes it. Out to the 19-yard line to Adam Haysbert.
Coach Chow said just before the game to me that he was really going to let it fly tonight. He was going to go with the whole playbook and see what happened.
Steve, at the start of the year when we visited Hawaii with the Skyriders, Coach Tomey said one area of concern for him was the cornerback position. And they've had a couple of injuries there too, so they're hurting at that position.
Here's that old off-tackle play for BYU. It's just the quick out. It's as easy as running that off-tackle play for a lot of other schools. And the BYU's very, very successful at it.
There's a first down play for the Cougars. A gain of about 10, just over 10. 1st and 10 from the 19. Smith goes in motion. Bosco back to pass. Does pass, complete to Kozlowski. Kozlowski down at the 27-yard line. So 2 throws, 2 completions for BYU. Steve, would it appear right now they'll be working on the corners?
I think they've got to. They know that that's their weakness. But in history, I know when we played other teams in the WAC and they said they had weaknesses in certain places, really didn't matter. We were going to attack where we were best, where we felt like we were going to do the best. And I think they'll just be ball control type passes, possession down type passes for the, they'll just march down the field like they have all year.
2nd and 3 for Brigham Young on the Cougars' 26-yard line. Running play, Heimuli up the middle, breaks 1 tackle and has the first down. He's out to the 32-yard line. Lake Heimuli. You were talking about the Hawaiian name, Steve. I'd like to start off today because I had somebody correct me. Heimuli. I've been calling him Heimuli, and so Lake, I apologize. We'll try to call you Heimuli the rest of the year and get your name right.
He's gotten a lot of attention these last couple of days here in Hawaii because he was one of the products out of Honolulu here that Hawaii really felt like they should have had, and a lot of people are down on the Hawaii program for not keeping Lake in Hawaii.
1st and 10, BYU on their own 32-yard line. Bosco to throw. They're coming at him this time. He sprints out of the pocket. May run it. Now he throws it. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Heimuli at the 50-yard line.
Robbie's been very, very successful for someone that came into the year saying he couldn't get around and move around the pocket. He's been very successful all year at moving around, getting somebody downfield, playing with the guy, pointing, trying to make him think that he's going to run, then he dumps it off. It just bounced off Lake's shoulder pads, but it would have been a great play. Robbie's been very, very elusive so far the first 3 games, and he's been very, very smart, very, very poised in what he's doing back there. I'm very impressed with him.
Steve, I was here with the basketball team during the football signings, and when Heimuli signed for BYU, it was the front page story.
Yeah.
Not on sports, it was the front page story. There's a flag down as Smith skirts to the outside all the way to 40, 45 up to the 50, down to the 42-yard line, but there's a flag down on the play.
Not only is there a flag down, Jay, but Craig Garrick is down. I hope it's not his knee. He's had that knee operated on 7 times, and he's just out there on sure willpower, and I sure hope nothing's happened to him.
Well, Craig is hurting right now. You can see as you look at it. 26-yard gain but they are coming back upfield like you think it'll be on BYU. You know, the Cougars lost an offensive lineman this week for the season, Randy Rollinson.
Yes, they did. Has another knee problem that just reoccurred in practice, just running around, twisted his knee, went down for the year. Randy's played great football early in the season, and it was an unfortunate thing to happen in practice. And Craig, he's the leader. He's the man that makes it happen out there. They look to him to do all the great things. He's just a great person, and I just hope that nothing bad has happened to him. It looks like that right knee.
Craig Garrett comes out of the game for BYU. Replacing him is David King on the offensive line. King is a 264-pound sophomore from Payson. He was a JV starter last year, a returned missionary.
Well, I'd be real interested to see what's wrong with Craig. I hope we get a report real soon. He'd be a big, big loss for BYU up front. Not only in his ability to play the football game, but his leadership and his poise.
Some of his family here to watch the game in Hawaii. 5-yard penalty against BYU, so it is 2nd and 15, and they lose the big gainer, the nice run by Kelly Smith. And now we have a change in the offensive line. Then King is in there getting a chance to play. Bosco gives to Smith almost the same play, sweep to the right side. Kelly's up to the 32-yard line.
That was exactly the same play. It's the old sweep play that BYU's been very successful at the last couple of years. And what they did this time, what Hawaii did defensively this time rather than last time, was they closed off that outside, forced Kelly Smith up the middle, and then that pursuit gets to him. And they got to get, for Hawaii, they've got to cut down that outside to force the running back inside.
9:53 to go in the first quarter, no score. 3rd down and 12 for Brigham Young on their own 31-yard line. Bosco back to pass. They're coming at him this time, and they sack him. So Bosco is dropped for a loss back to the 26-yard line.
Now for Hawaii, this is tremendously important that they get to Robbie. It's really an uplift. You can see the crowd really gets going behind him. Everything that happens right now early is very important for momentum. So far, Hawaii's done very, very well, but they come away with no points, and it's the same thing that Tulsa did last week. They were running the ball real well, they did things real well, and they lost the momentum because they didn't get any points, and it looked like the same thing might happen to Hawaii. They've got to get the points on the board.
Cullen Scott's got the sack. Here's Lee Johnson to punt from his own 14-yard line. Here's the punt, way high, comes down at the 29-yard line. Well covered by BYU. Back to the 35-yard line is all.
Pretty good punt by Lee. He let it hang up there and got a good hang time and got his team down underneath it to cover it.
50-yard punt, 6-yard return. Corey Rasmussen made the tackle. We're watching Craig Garrick down on the sidelines as they're checking with him.
Looks like he's leaned up and put some weight on the foot, so that's a good sign. It's tough to say exactly what it might be right now, but I'll tell you, if there's any possible way that Craig Garrick can be back in the game, he'll be there.
The trainers, the doctors, he's got everybody around him right now checking him. So I don't know whether he'll get back in there or not. 1st and 10, Hawaii on their own 35-yard line. No score. First quarter of the football game from Honolulu. Cherry with the ball, that quarterback. It takes the snap. There's the handoff straight ahead. Good hard hit after a gain of 3. The ball carrier is Luis Santiago. Now he was considered to be their starting fullback this year, but he hasn't played much.
So that's just that. I think they're trying to set up that outside option. That's a fake, and that's the part of their game, is that outside option with Cherry going outside, and they're just trying to set it up right now. Let them know that they will go inside, and it sort of sets up that outside play. It'll probably come up here in a little bit. 2nd and 7 for Hawaii.
Cherry back to pass this time, dropping straight back, throws it over the middle. It's dropped. Would have been a gain of about 6, and it was thrown to Walter Murray, who's their deep threat.
Really a well-thrown ball by Cherry. It's interesting to see him drop back left-handed. I didn't know how weird I really looked.
Left-handers do it all backwards, huh?
It seems that way, doesn't it?
That'll be 3rd and 7 for the team from Hawaii on their own 39-yard line. We have 8 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter. No score tonight from Honolulu. Cherry ready. BYU creeping up along that line. Here's the snap. Cherry back to throw. The rush is on. Throws it over the middle. Almost intercepted. Sprouse had it. I didn't see a green jersey around him.
He just overthrew it. It was a short pattern just to get the first down. It went right over his head and right into the chest of Jeff Sprouse, and it just bounced off his shoulder pads. That's twice tonight, the 2 balls that BYU could have caught. One to Locke and one to Jeff that could have been interception and a completion.
Into punt now is Tom McCarthy. Tom, let's see, is averaging 40 yards a punt this year, 39.8. We have Sika Hema back deep for BYU on the 16-yard line. Here's McCarthy's punt. Sika Hema waiting. It kicks it very high. Takes it at the 12-yard line. Cuts inside one man, and then they swarm all over him. Finally, he's knocked off his feet at the 15-yard line. 49-yard punt.
Just got a report from the sideline, Jay. Craig Garrick, we just talked about him, injured right knee, and I'm not sure if that's the one that's had the 7 operations or not, but he's not likely to return, and that could really hurt that offensive line for BYU. But, you know, Coach French makes a lot of preparatory work for those guys behind because he wants to make sure that they're ready to go just as well as the first string, and I think now it'll get that test that those second string guys can come through and play very well.
BYU did lose, as we say, Randy Rollinson this week to a knee. He'll be out for the year. So King is now in at that position. Matic is playing at center today after being injured. Heimuli takes a handoff, breaks some tackles, and works out to the 22-yard line. Good run by Heimuli.
The old saying, Lake, the only thing you see out of him is a helmet and some knees. And he's a tough guy to bring down. He's so low to the ground. And you'll see him just bounce off a couple of tackles right there. You can't bring Lake down with that arm tackle. You've got to bring him down with a couple of bodies just like that. Pretty good run there.
He gained almost 8 yards. Call it 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2 for BYU. No score midway through the first quarter. Bosco at quarterback.
Looks like Robbie's going to audible at the line of scrimmage.
He's back to throw. Not much of a rush this time. Throws it over the middle. Dropped at midfield by Bellini. Well, Bellini was wide open.
He really was, and everyone in the Hawaii defense was going the opposite way. He would have caught that ball. He would have gone all the way, I really think.
I think so. That's 2 passes the Cougars have dropped, and you just don't see that very much.
Not really, and it's a catchable pass, especially by BYU's terms. And we talked about that horrible drop list at the end of the game that those guys really don't want to be on, and that's one of those things that really spurs those receivers not to get on that drop list.
2nd down, 2 yards to go for BYU. Or 3rd down, make that. 3rd down. Bosco still has the football, sprinting out, throws it downfield, completes it to Adam Haysbert. That's a 1st down play to the 34-yard line.
Pretty good play. It looks like there's going to be roughing the passer call. It's right next to Robbie's head. Someone hit him, might have been a little late.
Yeah, there is a flag down back where Robbie threw the ball. We're waiting for the call. That's it. Roughing the passer call.
That's 15 more yards onto a gain of 13. Pretty good play there. Unfortunately, Robbie had to take a pretty tough hit.
So along the line right now for BYU offensively, you have Wright and Wong the tackles, King and Anaya the guards, and Matic is the center. And Garrick is on the sideline now. Let's see, they're looks like they've got ice taped to that knee. 1st down for BYU. We're waiting. They'll walk off the penalty too.
I guess they had a choice whether they take the play or the penalty, Jane. I guess it looks
so.
like they've taken the penalty, which is 15 yards instead of the 13. But the play got.
Passer against the defense.
Which will give Brigham Young a 1st down on the 33-yard line. Check that on the 38-yard line. You have Bellini and Orr wide to the right for BYU. Heimuli and Smith are the setbacks. No score, 1st quarter, and we have 6:54 left to play. That's in the 1st quarter. Bellini comes in motion across to the left. Heimuli takes it on a handoff wide to the right. Booms his way out to the 47-yard line. Good run again by Lake.
They really are getting those defensive ends chopped down and getting the outside. And Lake's just hitting up that hole pretty hard. I think he wants to impress the people back in Hawaii because he's really running very hard right now, looking very well.
He's been playing on a bad ankle, which has hampered him. He gained, is it 1st down or I guess they'll have to measure. They bring the chains out. Next week, BYU has the week off. The Cougars have a bye, while the University of Hawaii next week, I don't think they have a league game. They play Nevada, Las Vegas.
That's right, which will be a tough game in itself. What's interesting, Jay, BYU played 3 of their toughest ball games, the first 3 games of the year, who they felt like they were going to be the most physical teams they'd face all year, and they were worried about having to come out of those 3 games a little bit nicked up and injured, and really they've been almost 100% other than Well, we said Randy Rawlinson the other day and then Craig today, but other than that, they've really been injury-free, which is a real credit to Chuck Stiggins, the strength and conditioning coach, because that's his job, to put those guys on the field ready to play and stay injury-free.
It is not a first down, but it lacks about an inch is all. So it's second and short yardage. And Steve, here's the old free down, I guess, in a way, right?
I think so.
Bosco now, 2 of 4 for 18 yards. Heimuli has 21 yards rushing. It's the draw to Heimuli, and there's a big opening on the outside. He's still on his feet to the 43-yard line. Another nice run by Lakay Heimuli. The ball bounced around, but the play was dead before that occurred. It's still Brigham Young's football.
Big gain of 10 there, and it's the old draw trap that KCT Marlowe made famous last year, and it's working well tonight.
You know, Coach told me from Hawaii, and I've said this a number of times, he says that the difficulty he has handling Brigham Young is the offensive line and the defensive line. He said we just get beat up front when we play BYU. First and 10 for the Cougars on the Hawaii 44-yard line. Mills, the tight end, shifts over to the left side. Bellini's wide to the left. 2 setbacks. Bosco will throw. Does throw, and it is caught. Nope. Is that a fumble or an incomplete pass?
He called it incomplete right down on the field.
Called it incomplete.
Pretty good hit by the cornerback. They said that these cornerbacks really play loose and give that quick out and that quick curl. And that time they really didn't give much of anything. A really good hit by, was it number 26?
Yeah, Bellini caught it. The hit was by David Meyer, or check that, by Brian Norwood.
You see Robbie's drop straight back. The old vintage BYU drop back, straight back on his drop back, and then a pretty good hit right there. And was it Bellini? Yes, it was.
Yeah, Bellini. So it's second and 10, Brigham Young. No score, first quarter. Bosco back to throw again. Well, they get to him this time at midfield. He wanted to throw, then held up and was pulled down by Pete Nunga.
That time, Jay, he had plenty of time to throw the football, but you got to give credit to that Hawaii defensive secondary, because they're not getting right here. He sets up, and he should let it go right now, but no one's open. You can see that, so they're covered, and that's just long enough to get that extra man in there on the blitz.
8-yard loss on the play. So Brigham Young faces third down and 18 on their own 49-yard line. 5:15 left to play in the first quarter, and there's no score. Bosco back to throw. Chased out of the pocket, sprinting. And he's hit as he goes to throw it. The ball bounces free. Is it a fumble or a pass?
Looks like the referees called it down at the spot. I'll tell you, that's a questionable call.
Bosco's shaken up on the play, too.
Here's a replay. They come with a corner blitz. The weak corner is right behind Robbie right now, and he doesn't see him. He thinks he's picked up on the backside, and there he is right there. And I think that's a questionable call. Looks like Robbie lost the ball on the way down. It should be called a fumble, but the referee's right on the play, and you got to give him credit for making the call. That's his third sack on Robbie already in the first quarter. He looks a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, Robbie's hobbling as he comes out of the game. He was shaken up on the play.
I'll tell you, Hawaii is really selling out early, Jay. They figured, well, they're playing the number 4 team in the nation. We got to get some momentum. We're going to sell out defensively and bring plenty of people. That time they really had a weak corner blitz, and that's not a really, that's a high-risk defense, and it worked that time because of the rollout. Robbie didn't see him, and it really wasn't anyone's fault. It's just something that was unfortunate for the play that was called.
Lee Johnson in to punt for the Cougars from his own 25-yard line, his second punt of the game. For Hawaii back deep, we have number 33, Marco Johnson. Lee Johnson kicking to Marco Johnson. 4:43 to play in the first quarter, no score. Hey, we're going to get roughing the kicker.
Now we're going to get it offsides.
There's the punt taken. And quickly he's down at the 10-yard line.
Now, is that an automatic first down, Jay?
It is, but as you say, we've got 2 flags down.
Well, the first one's for offensive, Hawaii's offsides also, I think.
Oh, Hawaii offsides?
Yeah, I think
well, roughing the kicker will give Brigham Young a first down and a tremendous break in the football game.
Oh, no, they called it the other way. Offsides, BYU.
Well, if that's the case, then we'll have to do it over again.
That's a big break for Hawaii if that's the case.
Let's wait and see now, as the officials are calling the BYU team captains out to talk to them. Kozlowski comes out. They'll talk to him. They got to Johnson that time, but did not get the football.
Here's the replay. It doesn't look like anybody on BYU's offensive line moves, and here comes a man in and just clips Lee's foot and knocks him a little bit off balance, and that's illegal.
Looks like they're going to let the play stand is what they will do. Let's listen.
Offside against the defense. Decline. The first down this way.
Oh, wait a second.
Well, they're going to let the play stand.
I'm not sure that referee had everything straight. He called both penalties on Hawaii, and that would have given the ball back to BYU. But I think what he meant was it was roughing the kicker on Hawaii and offsides against BYU, which is offset. They'll let the play stand. They'll refuse both penalties, and BYU will want the ball down inside the 20 like they had.
It's a 48-yard punt by Lee Johnson, and the Hawaii Rainbows will take over 1st and 10 then on their own 12-yard line. We have 4:33 left to go in the first quarter, and the Hawaii defense is doing a good job.
They really are, and they've got the momentum. They know they're playing the fourth team in the nation right now, and they've got them on the move. They got the crowd behind them. I think the offense is up the offense to prove themselves right now.
Raphael Cherry at quarterback. There's a handoff and slips up to the 15-yard line. Slowed him down, stayed on his feet, and did stumble forward for a couple of yards. Jim Herman right on the bottom of that one. Santiago was the ball carrier. Quickly, they'll run another play. 2nd down and 8 from the 15-yard line. Cherry with the ball. Still has it. Throws under pressure, way downfield, and it is incomplete at the 40-yard line of BYU. Allen covering for BYU, and it was intended for their speedster, Walter Murray.
Kurt Gouveia gave a lot of pressure, and it was a pretty good throw by Cherry under a great amount of pressure. Just as he threw the ball, Kurt was right on top of him. That's, as a quarterback, that's a tough throw.
Steve, Walter Murray has been timed at 4.39 in the 40.
That's not too bad.
He can move. Cherry's 0 for 3 passing now, and the Rainbows have 3rd down and 8 on their own 15-yard line. No score, first quarter. So Cherry has not completed a pass so far, has thrown 3 times. Cherry with the ball, dropping straight back, under pressure, throws it, and it's incomplete. They dropped it on the sidelines. That time he got the pass out there to Kyle Mosley and went right through his hands.
I tell you, they can't afford to do that. What we said, they needed to, they've done something to get the momentum earlier from BYU, which isn't going to be easy in the first place. BYU's a great team. They're not going to be put down for too long, and they need to get those first downs and a good drive going, and a drop ball is really going to hurt them right now.
Tom McCarthy back to punt. He's standing on his goal line. Sikahema back at the BYU 42-yard line. No score, first quarter. Here's the snap. He has it. His kick is from the 5. Sikahema coming up, takes it at the 50, gets away from one man, slips another one, still fighting, and works forward for about 3 yards. He had about 3 guys hit him and got away. 36-yard punt. Well, the Cougars have the ball now with good field position.
Looks like Robbie's recovered from that hit he took back a few plays ago. He's going to be back on the field. And I don't know, as a quarterback, sometimes you go back in that field, you think you feel okay, but as soon as you have to make those split-second decisions, your head's still a little bit woozy, and you got to be careful of that because you make some bad decisions if that's the case.
1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 47-yard line. So BYU with pretty good field position. Kozlowski wide to the right for BYU. Haysbert to the left. Kozlowski comes in motion over the left side. Bosco back to throw. Right over the middle, completes it to Kozlowski. Koz is down at the 40-yard line. Gang tackled there. Boy, you pay the price sometimes.
You really do over the middle, but Koz is the greatest at that. He's a tough kid inside. He doesn't take a lot of beatings from people and doesn't give out some of himself. But that was really good gang tackling. You see Robbie drop straight back, and what it is, Koz is in motion. He's just going to come around right in front of Robbie and sit down about 8 yards in front of him. You'll see Koz come right in your picture right there, and it's just sitting down in front of that zone, and now Koz is trying to get the extra yards, and he should see too many green shirts and maybe just sit down.
2nd and 3 for BYU on the Hawaii 40. Bosco back to throw. The rush is on, gets it off, and a nice catch by Kozlowski.
Really a great throw by Robbie. Again, Hawaii defense is selling out, trying to make something happen early. They're bringing that extra linebacker and probably a strong safety. Robbie's getting the ball away under pressure, and a great catch by Cos. He's kind of famous for those diving one-handers ever since he's played here at BYU. And then you'll see him come across your picture right there. You see the throw. And
7-yard gain. First down, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 39-yard line. So they're putting the rush on Robbie. That time he got the pass away, and Kozlowski made the good catch. First and 10, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 30. It's the 34-yard line. Right up the middle, Heimuli, big hole. He shoots through and gains about 6. Well, it opened up in a hurry at the line of scrimmage. They're inside the 30. 2:27 to go in the quarter.
And that can happen against this gambling Hawaii defense. Once in a while, you catch them off guard. It's somewhat like New Mexico runs. It just looks like they're really running a lot of people out, trying to put pressure on Robbie, and they'll sell out, and they'll get those big holes that just open straight up for Lake. And so far, it's worked really well. I think they got to stay with it.
Call it a 5-yard gain. Second down and 5 for Brigham Young on the Hawaii 29-yard line. Time running out in the first quarter. There's no score. Bosco still with the football. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Intended for Smith, but he overthrew him on the sidelines. You know, in recent years, Steve, and I don't know how many games you go back, the only time that BYU has not had a touchdown pass in a game was in '81 here when they beat Hawaii 13-3.
That's right. In fact, the only touchdown came as Wayman Hamilton was about the 5-yard line. He got tackled. He fumbled into the end zone, and Neil Ballholm fell on the ball for a touchdown. And that was the only score of the day other than 2 field goals by Kurt Gunther. So a really tough ball game the last time BYU was in this stadium.
Third down and 5 for Brigham Young on the Hawaii 29-yard line. Down box still says second down. Now they flip it over to third. 1:50 to go in the first quarter of this game, and there's no score. Matic back in this week at center. He's over the ball now. Bosco with an audible. Bosco back to throw. Gets away from one man. Sets up. Throws over the middle. Batted down. Incomplete. At the line of scrimmage. So again, the Hawaii defense stops him.
I tell you, that really puts a lot of pressure on Robbie. They're getting outside those tackles, beating him outside and getting to Robbie's face. And as soon as you get that one guy to get in his face, I think you'll see the pressure come here from the left side of your screen. Robbie's setting straight back, and he sees someone out of the corner of eye that throws off his attention right there. And now the play's broken. He's just looking downfield for anything he can find. He doesn't know where everyone is, and they're just trying to move to an open spot. It looks like the ball leaves Robbie's hand a little bit wrong, and knocked down in the front of the line, or might have been intercepted.
Lee Johnson will try a field goal now from the 37-yard line, so it's a 47-yard attempt. Mark Allen holding for BYU.
As again, it's always direction for Lee. It's never distance. It'll be plenty long enough. It's just a matter of direction.
Here's the kick. Good distance, and it looks good. It is. So Lee Johnson gets BYU on the scoreboard for the first time, the first score of the game. And Johnson's now 4 of 5 this year kicking field goals. And Steve, he kicked that ball a long distance.
But he really didn't, though. I think he can kick it a lot farther. And I think what he's trying to do, he's a little bit off direction on the long field goals.
Bosco is now 4 of 9 passing for 31 yards. So Brigham Young has the lead by a score of 3-0 with 1:39 left to play in the first quarter. Coach Holmgren, the quarterback coach, is huddled with Robbie Bosco on the sidelines too, and you can bet they'll be looking for some things to counter what Hawaii's doing defensively. Johnson's kickoff comes down about 5 yards deep in the end zone, and they won't run it out. Hawaii will take over first and 10 on the Rainbow's 20-yard line. 3-0 Brigham Young. Next week, BYU has the week off. Then after that, they go over to Colorado State.
Well, after the start of this first quarter, it looks like they might need it to get healed up. A couple of guys have been hurt already. It looks like a tough-hitting ball game. But that's a kind of a nice break. Sometimes you tend to lose the continuity of the season, though. It's important that BYU keeps that mental part of the game keep going.
Cherry at quarterback splits a man wide to the left, another to right. They shift into the I formation. Cherry with the ball will throw on first down. Some pressure on him, scrambling, throws it over the middle. It's caught. Well, he picked up somebody that time and threw it right over the middle. Whittingham made the tackle for BYU, and he completed the pass to Pa'ola, the fullback.
I tell you, Jay, Cherry is really an innovative quarterback. You'll see him drop straight back. and he's looking to his left side. He sees no one open. There's a hand in his face. Looks like he might run. Looks like he might move around. He's just dancing right now. Look at him jump. It's kind of a jump pass. Really innovative quarterback, and that's the kind of guy that defenses hate. Defenses hate. They're going to move around a lot, cause a lot of problems that way.
Right up the middle, first down run. The handoff that time was to number 30, Paola, the fullback, and I think he got the first down yardage.
Coming into this game, that was one of the biggest concerns for the BYU defensive coaches was the mobility of Rafael Cherry. He's the kind of guy that can get around, cause a lot of problems, move around in the pocket, and it's a tough job for the front line, defensive line for BYU. They've got to contain him, and when they get a chance to hit him, they've got to hit him in the legs and take him down, because if they go over his head, he'll just duck him and keep moving.
Hawaii lost to Cal Fullerton in their first game here, a home game. Today, Fullerton beat Colorado State. Coach Edwards has seen the Fullerton team on film. He says they're a good football team. Cherry back to pass on first down over the middle. Completes it for short yardage. Be a gain of about 4. Leon White, Marv Allen there for BYU. Into the stop along with Whittingham, and the pass was complete that time to Marco Johnson.
That's the kind of pass that BYU really makes its money on, those 5-yard dump-off passes to the backs, and it's really a nice possession type pass play. You'll see the back just set up right there. Cherry hits him right in the chest, and it's a good 5 yards, and that's the kind of thing that Hawaii needs right now to solidify a nice offensive drive.
Second down, 5.5 to go, and that ends the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play tonight from Honolulu, the score is Brigham Young 3 and the University of Hawaii nothing. Okay, this is Jay Monson and Steve Young tonight from Honolulu, Hawaii, where Brigham Young leads Hawaii by a score of 3-0. As we open the second quarter, Hawaii has the ball, second down, 5.5 on their own 35-yard line. Cherry took the snap, dove straight ahead. Looked like a broken play, was it, Steve?
Really did, but with Rafael Cherry, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so quick and elusive that sometimes he might see something, just tell everyone to do a different play, and at the line of scrimmage, he sees he can make 4 or 5 yards right up the middle and just do it without telling his offensive players. That's the kind of innovative player he is, and the coach might give him that ability, the right to just say, if I see something at the line of scrimmage, you're allowed to do that.
Second down, about 3 yards to go for Hawaii. They have the ball on their own 37-yard line, trailing 3-0. Cherry with the football. Got away from one man, now throws, and it's incomplete. Good pressure in the backfield by BYU. Is that Gravea?
It looked like Leon White maybe.
Leon White,
got a
okay.
hand on him.
They made him throw it in a hurry. And so Hawaii will face a probable punting down. BYU leading 3-0.
Looks like Doc Prattley just walked Craig Garrick off the field, Jay. I hope it's not anything bad, but Craig was walking on his own, under his own power, and looks like he might not be so seriously injured as a knee injury. Sometimes a knee injury will be.
Which knee is it, Steve?
Looks like his right knee, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's his left knee that's had all the operations, so that's not the knee to be hurting right now.
Tom McCarthy back to punt. Sika Hema's back at the 15-yard line for Brigham Young. The snap a little low, but he gets it and gets the punt off and hangs it pretty high. Sika Hema up to the 23-yard line, takes it there, gets away from a couple of guys, and then they swarm all over him. Sika Hema getting it to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. It's a 40-yard punt, 3-yard return by Sika Hema. So Brigham Young takes over, 1st and 10.
Main time of that punt, Jay, was 3.7 seconds, which is really a pretty good punt. And what it does, it allows those punt cover guys to get downfield and stop by Sika Hema. They saw last week that he broke those punt returns for long gains, and then Hawaii's not going to allow him to do that. So that's the important thing that a punter can do, is get it up in the air and allow that.
Running play, Smith on a sweep to the right side, follows his blockers well to the 30-yard line. Kelly Smith coming wide to the right, and leading the way was the center, Trevor Maddich, for the block.
Kelly Smith, he came into BYU as a walk-on, and they had him a wide receiver for 3 years, and he played down in Beaver High School down in Beaver, Utah as a running back, and he broke all kind of records down there. And Coach Edwards says, you're not a running back, you're a receiver. And I think finally Coach decided that maybe Kelly was a running back after all, and he's done very, very well early in the year here for BYU. 2nd
and 6 for the Cougars on the 30-yard line. Running play to Heimuli. He may have fumbled the ball. Hawaii thinks they have the football, but the officials, I think they've ruled the ball was down.
It was interesting, he turned over and he didn't have the ball. It looked like maybe he might have lost it in the pileup, and the referees didn't see it. We'll have to see this again maybe. Looks like they're going to rule 3rd down.
Well, they had to discuss it for a while, Steve, but the referee is the one who said no, the play was
Here's the replay
stopped.
right off tackle. And let's see where Lake loses the football. You really can't tell. When he turned over there from our vantage point, it looked like he didn't have it. Might have been laying on his leg or something. It looked like BYU tried to cover, Hawaii covered it. And the referee just maybe not have seen it, might not have seen it.
Third down for BYU and 5 on the Cougars' 31.5-yard line. Bosco, the first quarter, was 4 of 9 for 31 yards. Now the BYU team a little disorganized. Well, they tried to change the play and then the line moved.
That's right. Robbie has the right, like we talked about, that the coach gives him the play in the huddle, comes to the line of scrimmage, sees something he doesn't like, he's going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. And what happened was, there he is screaming over to the audible eyes, and Lewis Wong must have got mixed up with the snap count and moved back, and that's a legal procedure. And on a 3rd and 4 play, now it turns into a 3rd and 9 play. Different kind of play call for Coach Chow.
First quarter, BYU had 5 first downs, Hawaii 2. The Cougars had 13 yards rushing, Hawaii 17, BYU 31 passing, Hawaii 12. Only 44 yards total offense for BYU, but Hawaii had only 29 yards.
Defensive struggle so far.
BYU leading 3-0, 3rd and 10 from the 26-yard line. Bosco back to throw. Chased out of the, he gets the pass off. Complete to midfield, to the 50, to the 45, the 40, the 35, out of bounds at the 30-yard line is Kozlowski, and they come up with a big play when they need it.
It really was. Robbie sat back in the pocket really, really well. He had some people in his face, sat back, waited for Koz to break over the middle about the 50-yard line. Gain of 36, you'll see him drop straight back. It's the old post-cross route that BYU's been so successful at. Look at that guy come right up the middle, and I think it throws Robbie off, but then he sees he's not really in trouble. He sets up, and in the face of a pretty good rush, hits the guy right on the money, and that is what BYU has been doing all summer. They've been working at that so that then they can do it under pressure, and that's just it's good coaching and a great throw by Robbie.
Kozlowski very good at catching that ball on the dead run, and he did it that time. 1st and 10, BYU on the Hawaii 32-yard line. Bosco back to pass, throws for the sidelines, complete to Adam Haysbert, who's hit as he got out of bounds, knocked out of his hands, but by then he was out of bounds.
You know, that quick out play, Jay, that we talked about, it's like USC running an off-tackle play, or Ohio State. It's just their base play. That's BYU's base play, is the quick out. They've run it all summer, and their whole life they could do it in their sleep. And it's really just a possession town type play, and it gets an easy first down. They run it right around 10 yards, and it goes to go out of bounds, and Adam's really a master at running it.
Steve, I think it'd be frustrating to defensively to coach against BYU, because you can stop them, you got them, and suddenly,
bang.
Boom.
And that's what the BYU offense is all about.
1st and 10 on the 21-yard line of Hawaii. Bosco to throw again. Good protection this time. Throws deep, and it is incomplete, intended for Bellini in the end zone. Robbie maybe had to throw that a little quicker than he wanted to.
He had plenty of time, but it just took time for Bellini to get open in the end zone. What happened was they're giving the receivers a pretty good bump at the line of scrimmage and throwing off their timing, and that's what happened 3 years ago. They really threw off BYU 3 years ago. The cornerbacks for Hawaii would jump up and just try to cut them down, knock their legs out from under them, and just mess up the timing of McMahon. And it really caused a lot of problems, and maybe that's what they're trying to do here. They remember 3 years ago they caused a lot of problem that way, and they might do it here, and it throws off the timing. You can see it by the pass that Robbie threw.
2nd and 10 on the 21-yard line for BYU. Heimuli skirting inside, down at about the 18-yard line. They haven't really been using the draw. It's more just the direct handoff. Heimuli in the first quarter of the football game for Brigham Young. He rushed for 37 yards. So the Cougars have 3rd down and 8 on the Hawaii 18-yard line. I think it is, and Hawaii has a player injured. So it'll have a bit of a break in the action. Games that were played today. Utah beat Air Force 28-17, and Oregon State beat Wyoming. We'll be back in just a moment with more football. 3rd down and 8 for Brigham Young on the 18-yard line of the University of Hawaii. The Cougars ahead 3-0. Smith goes in motion to the left. Bosco back to throw. They're trying to get through to him. He's chased out of the pocket. Will have to run the ball himself. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And they're doing a good job right now of putting pressure on Robbie Bosco.
By far the best all season. They've had Pittsburgh try to put pressure on him, Baylor, Tulsa, and I think every one of those teams outweighs Hawaii, but they're just selling out right up the middle, and they're really putting a lot of pressure on Robbie, forcing him out of the pocket, jumping over people. His timing's off. They're playing pretty good defensive secondary, and now it's just a fight for your life.
Might be a game of field goals. So here's Lee Johnson to try again. He hit one earlier in the game to give BYU the lead, 3-0, and he'll try once again.
Here again, I think Lee, what he's trying to do is just take a little bit off the kick and try to just place it because he's got plenty of leg to get that direction right.
Here's the kick, and it is good. So Johnson is 2 for 2, and on the year now he is 5 for 6.
Really looks smooth on that kick.
And right now there's a break in the action. We'll be back in just a moment with BYU leading by a score of 6-0. Jay Monson and Steve Young tonight in Hawaii, where BYU leads by a score of 6-0. And right now, Steve, Hawaii has succeeded, what'd you say, putting a little sand on the BYU cogs there offensively. They're not working smoothly right now.
And that's the biggest thing about BYU. They're successful over the years because of their execution, because of their timing, because they know where each other's going to be. And as soon as you throw that off, as soon as you make Robbie move out of the pocket, as soon as you throw the wide receivers off their routes, then you've just broken everything that BYU has going for them. Now they've got to get that timing back. Hawaii's got them on the run, but offensively, Hawaii really needs a boost. They haven't done anything offensively. They need some points now to get things going.
Here's Johnson kicking off for Brigham Young. He drives this one pretty deep. Let's see if it'll go out of the end zone. It hit the goalpost. Hit the goalpost. His last field goal was a 36-yarder, so BYU leads 6-0 now. It took 9 plays for BYU to score a 54-yard drive.
I think Lee might have been a little bit pumped up after a couple of big field goals. Kicked that one right out of the stadium.
Yeah, he kicked that one hard. Well, I'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. With that new rule this year, remember, if you kick it all the way out of the end zone, it comes out to the 30. 1st and 10, Hawaii on the 30. Hawaii had one big scoring opportunity. The first series today, on a trick play, they got a big gainer, got down inside the 10 and tried for 4th and short yardage and fumbled the ball away. Cherry at quarterback. There's a pitch back, a sweep to the right side. Heyman turns it inside for BYU, and Sprouse comes up to help out. And the ball carrier was number 48. Oh, here's the freshman from Salt Lake City, Keith Lapati. He's from Highland High School.
I didn't know that the recruiting wars went the other direction. I just thought everyone came from Hawaii. I didn't know that we lost players from the Utah area. Utah and Weber State and Utah State and BYU must have lost that one.
He's a good football player. He was recruited by the Utah schools, too, and elected to come here.
Great play by Steve Heyman that time, turning the play inside, and that's his job. And he has really played well at that strong safety position the first 4 games.
2nd 8 right now, whistle sound on the field. I'm not sure what the problem is. They're checking with the referee. We have 10 minutes, 28 seconds left to play in the first half. Brigham Young 6, Hawaii nothing is the score. Good solid defensive struggle going on. Cherry with the ball, still has it, faking the handoff. Going to throw it deep, way deep, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, and the Hawaii player goes down. The crowd is booing. Murray went down. Mark Allen was covering, but no flag was dropped.
I'd like to see that one on replay. I don't know. Mark seemed to be crawling all over his back. They're the ones down on the field making the call, and they've got to see it the best they know how. Here we'll get a chance to see it. Rafael Cherry dropping straight back left-handed, you'll notice.
Boy, the crowd booing.
And
Cherry really unloaded.
And we'll get a great look at it here because you'll just see it. There's contact made by Mark Allen. I don't know. I don't know. He might have just tripped over his own feet.
Yeah.
He really might have, because the turf here at Hawaii at Aloha Stadium is very soft and has a tendency to catch your feet real easily, and that might what happened.
Steve, there were 2 officials right there, and neither one of them even looked like they'd throw a flag either.
That's right. I think that was a good call.
3rd down and 8 for Hawaii. Cherry back to throw. The rush is on, throws it over the middle, tipped in the air and intercepted by Kyle Morrell. That pass, I think it bounced off the shoulder of a Hawaii player and right into the arms of Kyle Morrell. And the defensive backs are taught to do just that. Look for that ball.
Looked like it went right off the shoulder pads of Joe Nobles, the split end. You see Cherry reload here, a pump, reload and fired over the middle. Now it's a running back.
I think it was Nobles, is that right?
Was that Nobles?
Or was it number 30?
Nu'ua Fahalafua.
That's the fullback then.
And what happened was Cherry was going to somebody else, and the running back just put his hand up and tipped it up. Really not a real smart play by the running back. Gives BYU great field position.
1st and 10, BYU on the Hawaii 44-yard line then, as the Cougars try to do something offensively. It's the end around. They may pass off of it. They do. They throw downfield. Incomplete at the 10-yard line. Boy, Mills was down there. Who threw it?
It was Kaz. What
Kozlowski?
happened was Kozlowski's a left-handed thrower, and he was running to his right, and as a lefty, running to your right, you got your body going the wrong direction. You almost got to turn, and it makes it a tough play. And you'll see right here. Here's Kaz coming around, and I'm pretty sure he throws this with his left hand, because I think he is left-handed. See him have to turn against his body and throw it.
And Mills is there.
And see what happens is, when you're running that way direction already, your ball already travels that much. And so it's really in all likelihood will be overthrown, and that's exactly what would happen.
BYU went for a long TD that time, and they almost hit it on a trick play. 2nd and 10 from the 44. Bosco with the ball. Here's Parker on a sweep to the right side. Cuts inside his blockers to the 40, to the 35, out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So Robert Parker into the game for the first time today, and he gets pretty good yardage down the sidelines, a first down.
That's the big play. They've got it as soon as they cut down that outside,
14 yards.
help. They're off to the races, and Robert Parker's a very fast man. Looks like Trevor Matich might be limping down on the field. He's had a sprained ankle the last couple of weeks, and they actually didn't play the last couple of weeks, and they can't afford to lose another lineman right now, Jay.
That's right. Remember, Garrick is out. He's gone to the dressing room with a knee injury. Probably will not be back in this game. 1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 30-yard line. Parker is back out of the game. Bosco back to pass. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Smith. Led him a little too much. He was also very well covered that time by James Elias.
What Hawaii's doing, they're either selling out, like I said before, with an extra man in the blitz, or they'll drop an extra guy in the secondary, and he won't be a linebacker. They'll play a nickel defense, which means there's 5 defensive backs. Defensive backs are a little bit smaller than linebackers. They're a lot faster. They can cover those backs out of the backfield, and so it's a lot tougher for BYU to get the ball going.
Bosco now 6 of 13, no interceptions and 79 yards passing. 2nd and 10 for the Cougars on the 30. Bosco back to throw again, does throw, completes it to Kozlowski, 20, 15, out of bounds at the 12-yard line. The old bread and butter play.
Actually, what that was wasn't an audible, it was a side adjustment. What they see is, Robbie, if the extra man comes on the blitz and they don't have him picked up, the wide receivers automatically run a turn in, just a 5-yard turn in, and it's just called a blitz pickup.
17 yards, 17-yard gainer, first down, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 13-yard line.
And that's great communication between the quarterback and the wide receiver, because both of them have to see it to change the route in midstream.
Cougars trying to get in the end zone. They have not been able to do so in the game thus far. They have 2 field goals. Here's the drop play to Heimuli. He's to the 10-yard line. Lake Heimuli for Brigham Young. Picks up about 5 on the draw. Make it, well, about 3. Brigham Young will have the ball. 2nd down on the Hawaii 10-yard line. As the Cougars trying to wear them down, get into the end zone. We have 9:25 to go in the first half. It's Brigham Young 6, Hawaii nothing. The Cougars have a field goal the first quarter, a field goal the second quarter. 2nd down, 7 on the 10-yard line. Bosco back to, no, it's a running play. Heimuli, 5-yard line. It closes up as he gets to the 3-yard line.
I think he might have got the first down on that last little surge of power by Lake.
I think he did, Steve. That was a big hole opened up at the line of scrimmage.
It really was. I think that Hawaii defense was looking for the pass play.
Kozlowski, is this correct, is caught 5 for 73 yards. Well, they're sighting across field to see if it's a first down. And they say it is not. So it's 3rd down and less than a yard for the first down. Salanoa is now in at fullback for BYU.
I think BYU is kind of in a 2-down situation, Jay. They have 3rd and 4th down to work with. I have a feeling that Coach Chow, he might want to go for the end zone with a pass, first of all, and then on 4th down, if they don't complete it, just get that extra half a yard by a running play on 4th down.
Lindley comes in. They have 2 tight ends in now, and Bosco calls timeout. They just were not really set in what they wanted to do, so Bosco calls a timeout. They did set Lindley in, so there were 2 tight ends in the game, and Salanoa is also in the game as fullback. So with 8:26 to go in the first half, it's 6-0. Jay Monson, Steve Young, Brigham Young University, 3rd down and a yard to go for a first down. Bosco gives to Smith. He may have scored. Kelly Smith diving off to the right side, and he got in there for the TD.
Well, they're going to go for 2 points, Jay.
So Brigham Young University gets its first touchdown. An off-tackle play to the right side, and Kelly Smith diving in for the score. And for Kelly Smith, that's his 3rd touchdown this year.
There you see the power of the BYU offensive line down on the goal line, open up those big gaping holes. And that's what Coach Tomey talked about. That's where BYU really is superior, is at that offensive and defensive front lines. And they proved it right there on the 3-yard line.
Brigham Young ahead 12-0 now. And as Steve pointed out, the Cougars will go for a 2-point conversion. They have a touchdown and a couple of field goals, and they'll try to get 2 more points right here. Hey, Mooley, the lone setback. Now the referee signals timeout, and timeout is called by the University of Hawaii.
Looks like there was a mix-up. One guy's running on the field, another guy running off the field. Both of them screaming different things, and so they better start over.
Brigham Young University football from Hawaii as the Cougars go for a 2-point conversion. They're leading 12-0 now, halfway through the second quarter. Bosco, 2 setbacks, with the ball sprinting to the right, looking into the end zone. Now throws into the end zone. It's no good. Hawaii had that well covered, and the Cougars will not get the 2-point conversion. So Brigham Young had just scored after a pass interception by Kyle Morrell. They 7 plays, 44 yards, 1:52.
Here's the replay, Jay. All it is just a fake off the run play. And Coach Chow loves to call us because Robbie has both the option to run and throw. He's looking at Kelly Smith, number 21. He looks like he's open. And a great tip away by the linebacker.
For Morrell, by the way, that was his 2nd interception of the year. And now with 8.5 to go in the second quarter, BYU has 48 yards rushing, 96 passing, 147 total. Hawaii is 22 rushing, 12 passing, 34 total. So, Steve, that BYU defense, we've talked about Hawaii giving the Cougars fits. Look at that, 34 yards
well,
defense.
We knew the defense is going to do that every game. It's important. I don't know how they're going to do it. BYU defense is playing so well, but Hawaii really needs to get something going on offense. They've got to put some points on the board if they want to win the game. They're playing them tough, but I don't think they want to walk out with everyone just saying, geez, we played them tough today. They got to try to win the ball game. They've got to get that offense moving.
Okay, BYU will kick off to Hawaii again. Lee Johnson kicking. The last time he kicked it and hit the goalpost, so it came out to the 30-yard line, and just a couple plays after that the interception occurred. And here's the kick. This time it comes down about 2 yards into the end zone. They won't run it out. They elect to bring it out to the 20 as the kick was taken by Coldine Walsh.
You know, Jay, if I was Coach Tomey, what I do, I have a great athlete in Rafael Cherry as the quarterback. Pretty fast speed on the outside. I start moving him around a little bit instead of dropping him straight back, and where the defensive line and the linebackers of BYU, who are so strong, could just come right in and zone in on him. I'd move him around a little bit. He's such a great athlete. He can cause a lot of problems outside the pocket. If I was the coach, that's what I would do.
Okay. As soon as I get a team, I'm going to hire you. All
okay.
Right? 1st and 10, Hawaii on the 20-yard line. Cherry with the ball, gives to the first man by a gain of 2 or 3 yards. The ball carrier is number 42, Luis Santiago. He's a junior from Oahu, who'd carried only 1 time this year up until this game. He's been bothered with some injuries. 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard gain. You've got Herman and Smith and Hamilton up front for BYU. Sean Knight is here, by the way, and can play if they need him, but we'll see if he gets in there. Cherry with the ball. There's a pitch back, trying to turn the corner. They'll get it to the 35-yard line. That's only a gain of 2. Boy, Whittingham, Herman, Haymond there for Brigham Young, also in on the stop for the Cougars. Let's see, was number 65, Ken Smith, I believe, in on that stop too.
Yeah, they've moved Brad Smith out of the game, put Brad Smith out and Ken Smith in at nose guard. I don't know if something's wrong with Brad or not. We'll have to check, because Ken Smith is actually a defensive tackle, not a nose guard. They moved him over to replace Brad. I wonder if there's anything wrong with Brad.
3rd down and 5 for the University of Hawaii. 3rd down and 6, in fact, from the 24-yard line. Cherry with the ball, fakes the handoff, back to throw. The rush is on. He'll have to throw it under pressure. He scrambles out of the pocket. Coming up the sidelines, he will get the first down. And that's how he is dangerous.
And that's what they've got to do. I think that once he throws BYU's passing lanes off, he gets outside, he beats the rush a couple of times. He's so quick that he's going to get those 10 yards. You'll see Jim Herman put a lot of pressure coming in from your right side of your screen. I don't know, looks like old 72s might be holding Big Jim, but he gets away. And now he just lets his athletic ability take over, and he's got such quick feet that they can't get a good shot at him. And now is where Hawaii is at its best right now. Raphael Cherry with the ball in his hand going downfield.
Brigham Young leading 12-0 with 6.5 left to play in the first half. And Hawaii now has the ball 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. Cherry back to throw again. Does throw and will throw it way, way deep, and it is incomplete. He threw it a little short that time.
He really did.
Intended for David Aguiar, and the BYU defender thought that Aguiar pushed him.
Well, I don't think Cherry would like to have that one back because he let that thing fly. I don't think it left his hand the way he wanted it to, and it just kind of waddled up there like a dead duck. And the offensive player for Hawaii tried to come back on it. And they could have called offensive pass interference because actually did push off the defensive guy to come back into the ball. But this game is in Hawaii, not in Provo.
2nd and 10 for Hawaii on their own 34-yard line. Raphael Cherry, a quarterback, going back to pass. The rush is on. Chased out of the pocket, gets it off. Almost intercepted by Kyle Morrell. The pass intended for Theo Adams, the tight end, and Kyle had his hands on it.
I'll tell you what Coach Feldes told Kyle Morrell. He said, Kyle, you're a great athlete. You can move around back there. What I'm going to do is wherever you think the ball's going to go, you just follow that quarterback's eyes and you just be in on the play. I'm not going to give you a lot of responsibilities. You just move to where that ball is going to be. And Kyle's just great at it. And there he was right in the, just 3 yards downfield, ready to make an interception for a free safety. He's kind of out of position, but he just has that knack for finding where that quarterback's going to go.
His interception of a tipped pass, deflected pass, led to BYU's only touchdown of the game. 3rd and 10 then for Hawaii, still on the 34-yard line. Cherry with the ball, back to pass. This time they get to him. He will not slip away this time as Jim Herman and Larry Hamilton wrap him up. Herman got a hold and wouldn't let go that time.
Well, that's what he's got to do. He's got to get him below the shoulder pads because Cherry will just duck away from that. You'll see the play fake right back. Cherry's looking downfield. And you'll see Jim Herman come in from your right side, and he says, no, not this time. I got you.
There's the sack then with the ball spotted on the 27-yard line. 4th down, 4th and 17.
Well,
Back to punt is McCarthy.
I really feel like they're limiting Cherry a lot when they just drop him straight back. It limits what he can do. Well, like I said, I'd move him around out there and put that athletic ability to use.
Here's the punt, a good one, back to Sikahema at the 22-yard line, to the 25, to the 30, up to the 35, and flags go down as Sikahema runs it back out to the over the 35-yard line. A flag was thrown.
That's
May
right.
well
The
be an
spot
illegal
where
block.
You'll see either holding or clipping.
52-yard punt, 15-yard return by Sikahema.
Here comes the
penalties
punt.
on BYU.
Hawaii kicker's really getting great hang time, and that's the important thing for that coverage team, to get down on Sicky's face so that he can't make the big moves and make those elusive moves he's so great at. You'll see him come right down the middle at him, and he gets a little bit of a break, but then they converge on him. That's what you got to do to Vi. You can't just stop him with one guy. He's got a lot of moves.
Okay, a 10-yard penalty walked off against Brigham Young. It's holding on the return, so the Cougar line of scrimmage will be the 21-yard line.
You know, the Hawaii defense is doing the big job so far this first half. Maybe they've got to make the big play to put the offense in scoring position. Look for Hawaii to make a big play, a big interception or fumble recovery. Maybe they'll take it into their own hands and put them in the scoring column.
5:24 to go in the half. Brigham Young ahead 12-0. Bosco in at quarterback. Robbie back. No, it's a draw. And it's to Parker. Parker barely back the line of scrimmage. Things getting a little heated out there, Steve.
I'll tell you, both teams are really hitting hard. And there's a sweep to, well, actually, it's what the old draw trap we talked about earlier, Casey made famous. And those moves just won't help when there's too many guys around you. Robert's got a lot of moves, but defensive for Hawaii is really converging really well.
Robert Parker was in. Hamuli comes back in now. 2nd and 11 for BYU. Bosco to throw. Throws it deep, way deep, and it is incomplete at the 45-yard line. Intended for Mills. Mills had a step on his man, but the ball just a little overthrown.
Great read by Robbie. Just a blitz coverage where they're manning up one-on-one with everybody. David Mills right down the middle of the field, one-on-one with the strong safety. And that's a great matchup. BYU coaches say, as soon as you get to see, as a quarterback, you say, as soon as you see a man one-on-one, that's a man to go to. And Robbie made a great read, pretty good throw, just about a step too long.
4:42 left to go now in the first half. Brigham Young leading 12-0, and they have 3rd and 11 at their own 20-yard line. Haysbert goes wide to the left side. And out wide to the right is Bellini. Now they move Bellini back over, and Bosco will call timeout. He didn't like the way things were set up that time and called timeout.
Little confusion in the huddle. I don't know what it is from. Maybe they've thrown in a few new plays this week. And because it was kind of a short week in the sense that they didn't get to work at BYU and Provo, they had to come to Hawaii and make the last preparations in Honolulu that caused a problem here in the huddle.
Jay Monson and Steve Young with BYU football. The Cougars have 3rd and 11 after a timeout. They have Bellini and Kozlowski both way wide to the right, Haysbert to the left, and there's no tight end in the game right now. Bosco back to pass. Shoots it downfield, and it is incomplete. At the 33-yard line, intended for Haysbert. Well covered by Richard Miano, who's their All-American candidate.
He was one-on-one with Adam outside. Adam's off to his left side of the screen here. You'll see Robbie set up, look to his left, and just fire away. And actually, Miano made a great play in reading that pass play. And he's actually in front. And see, Adam did a great thing there. He saw that was going to be intercepted, and he wasn't going to allow that defensive man make the play. And they're taught that by Coach Chow, that if all else fails, there's no way that defensive man's going to get that ball.
Here's Lee Johnson punting. Did they block it? They blocked it. It'll go into the end zone, and it'll be recovered for a touchdown. So Hawaii blocked the punt and recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. And this Hawaii team's on fire.
They really are, and that's what we talked about. The offense wasn't going to move the ball. Defensive special teams had to make a big play, and here you see Lee sitting back. The ball comes to him on time. He takes those 2 steps and lets it go. And that's just a blocking malfunction by the BYU front line. And then they just fall on it for 7 points. You said that it has to be the special teams or defense that's going to make a big play for Hawaii, because the BYU defense is just being too tough.
Kyle Mosley recovered it in the end zone. You know, for years, Hawaii has made a big thing of blocking punts. They do a great job on it, and they just blocked one for a touchdown.
Actually, I remember 2 years ago, Hank Mondaka, the punter for Utah, sat back, got one blocked, and it broke his leg. I'll tell you, Hawaii really comes after the punter.
Suddenly, it's Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 6. And trying to kick the extra point now will be Richard Spellman. And here's the kick, and it's good. So the Hawaii team on the scoreboard in a hurry. Okay, we're told that Aguiar is the one who recovered that for the touchdown. Spellman kicks it through, and it's Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 7, and we have 4 minutes and 28 seconds left to play. Brigham Young University football from Hawaii. Jay Monson and Steve Young with the play-by-play. And Hawaii just blocked a punt, recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. So it's 12-7 BYU. Those 2 field goals for the Cougars, the difference right now. The BYU defense has played very well. The offense has been sputtering, or you could turn it around and say Hawaii's defense has played well.
That's true. You know, on that punt play, it looked like Lee Johnson got the ball in time. He didn't take too many steps. There must have been a malfunction up front, and I'm sure Coach French will have a lot to say about that one.
Here's the kickoff. And it comes into the end zone, taken there, and BYU will not return it. Kick to Parker, took it in the end zone, and the BYU offense comes out. They've got to get something going now.
They got plenty of time, and Robbie's got to get everything squared away so that when they leave the huddle, they know what's going on. And I would really expect Hawaii to keep doing the same thing they've done all game. Sell out, try to get to Robbie, try to get his timing off, get those wide receivers blocked a little bit, and get them off their patterns. They go away from that game, and now BYU can start picking away at them. They can't allow that to happen. Hawaii's defense has got to be really aggressive right here and keep doing what they've got going.
Last time they played here in Hawaii, BYU won 13-3. That was in 1981 for the conference championship. BYU, of course, ranked number 4 in the nation. Bosco to pass on first down. Gets it off, completes it to Smith, and Smith has a first down as he squirms out over the 30-yard line. Good move by Kelly Smith to pick up the yardage after he caught the ball, the yardage for the first down. 11-yard gain.
You know, that kind of pass play, BYU, I think, would rather do that than hand the ball off tackle. They probably feel much safer about it because they do it so much. It's just a very simple pass play to Kelly Smith. He goes out, turns around, Robbie just hits him right there, and it kind of quiets the crowd, and that's a great call by Coach Chow because of that, to quiet that crowd down.
First and 10 on the 31-yard line. Bosco back to throw again. 3-man rush this time. Throws downfield. Intercepted. He overthrew Kozlowski, and it was intercepted at the 45-yard line. That's the first time since the first game this year that Bosco's been intercepted.
It was Rich Miano, their All-American candidate. It's the same play that Kaz caught about 5 minutes ago over the middle. That was a big play for him. You'll see just right over his head, and Miano comes in front of number 7 and makes the big play. Kurt Kafensis was back there at free safety.
So the Hawaii defense doing a job.
Really, I think they've just thrown Robbie's timing off. So he's setting up, he's not setting up well, he's feeling pressure from all sides, and then he lets the ball go, and it kind of flutters around and it goes over people's head. He's got to avoid that.
1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. BYU leading 12-7, but the momentum has shifted. Cherry throws under pressure, incomplete. He was hit just as he threw that ball. The pass intended for Walter Murray, but it was incomplete.
There's a good sign. Aloha, Utah. That's the way I felt all week walking around Waikiki. It's really a different atmosphere over in Hawaii. A lot different than Salt Lake. But I'll tell you, after walking around for a while, the mountains, you kind of miss them.
Certainly pretty over here, and we've had some fun. But now it's the football game. And tonight, right now, Hawaii's having the fun.
They really are. They've got the momentum going. They've got to get a couple first downs, get in field goal range before the halftime.
2nd down call. Cherry with the football. Being chased, they try to set up a screen. The pass is caught to the 45, to the 50, down the sidelines to the 40, all the way down to the 30. Knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
You know, that was a great call because that's what I've talked about. You can't have Rafael Cherry, a great athlete, just drop straight back. That time he wound about right, and they set up the screen back left. You'll see him strut, fake the handoff, go right. Everyone's starting to worry now because Cherry is such a great athlete. Turns back left, floats the ball over, and a great catch by the running back down the sideline, and he'll set up the block. He's got 3 blockers out front. You see Mark Allen get cut down there. Look at 73. Kyle Morrell's going to get cut off, and that's a big, big play for Hawaii. 44-yard play.
Marco Johnson is a young man who caught the ball, and they have the ball 1st and 10 on the BYU 17-yard line, and they're trying to take the lead here at halftime. Cherry at quarterback. There's a running play up the middle, and there's also a flag down. The ball carrier was number 30. That is the fullback, Fa'aola. And he got inside the 15, but a flag went down. There's also a BYU player injured. I think it's Jim Herman.
Well, yeah, Brad Smith
is down. Brad Smith. Holding is the call against Hawaii. Brad Smith, this young man, is injured then.
Well, he's the big man in nose guard. Great, great player. And they can't afford to lose him. You know, like we said before, Jay, Cherry is best when he's moving around making everyone worried. When he drops straight back, Herman, Larry Hamilton, Brad Smith, they all know where he's going. He's right in front of their face. You can't lose him. That way, when he moves around, everyone starts to get panicky. Geez, where's that guy going to go? And it really sets up a lot of things for the Hawaii offense. So, like I said, if I were Coach Tomey, I'd want to get Cherry, just let him have the ball and let him run wild. And I think it would be a great play.
Okay, holding is the call. It's 98 who's hurt for BYU. Is that what Smith's wearing today?
That must be. That's Brad. It sure looks like him. He's usually number 76, and that's probably why we couldn't find him.
Yeah, that's him as he comes out.
Yeah, that's Big Brad.
Okay, Cherry is now 3 of 13 for 56 yards. Bosco 8 of 18 for 107 yards. 10-yard penalty. It's 1st and 20 for Hawaii on the BYU 27-yard line. Cherry with the ball himself. Sort of a little delay, and he comes right up the middle, is inside the 20-yard line.
What's that called? The quarterback draw. In fact, BYU used to run it a lot in the last couple of years. All the quarterback does is come back a couple of steps. You'll see him right there. The blocking's right up the middle. They'll ward off that middle guard, and it's just Cherry being an athlete, and that's not a bad play. Like I said, get Cherry out there. He's Hawaii's best asset, and you get him moving around a little bit and get BYU's defense kind of offset, and that's the big play.
Now Hawaii has a player injured. We have 2 minutes, 55 seconds left to go in the first half of this game. It's Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 7. Pretty been a hard-hitting football game.
You know, I got a theory about night games, Jay. The players have been sitting around the hotel all day long. They wake up about 8, and they have to sit 12 hours just chomping at the bit to get out on the field. And it always seemed like the night games were always a little bit more hard-hitting because I just think they've been waiting all day to get at each other, and they finally get a chance, and it really gets after it. I don't know, maybe just as a quarterback, I got sacked more on Saturday nights, but it just always seemed that way.
Coach Edwards, of course, does not like the night games. That's one of the reasons, Steve. He'd like to come in, play the game, and go home.
As a player, you hate to do that. You sit around all day, you watch all the other guys play football. They're home, relaxing after a game, and you know the rest of the people around the nation have already played their football games, and they're still waiting around for the game to start.
Fa'aola, the fullback, is the young man who's hurt, but he is going out of the game himself, hobbling a little, favoring his right leg. He's been playing hurt this year, but started the game today. It's 2nd down and 11 for Hawaii on the Brigham Young 18-yard line, and we have 2:53 left to play on the first half.
I really like a rollout by Cherry here, sort of a run-pass option to the wide side. I don't know. See if I guess right.
Okay, Raphael Cherry at quarterback. He's back to pass, throws it over the middle, completes it, but not much gain this time. Completed right over the middle, and a hard hit immediately by Gouveia, BYU. And also into the stop for the Cougars is Marv Allen.
And Cherry take a great hit here because Larry Hamilton and Jim Herman both squares down and just were a little late, but they hammered him because they knew where he was going to be. He just sets up back in the back, sets up straight back, and both of those guys can see right where he is, and that's not where Cherry's the best athlete. Get him moving around, and I think he'll be a lot better.
3rd and 9 for Hawaii on the Brigham Young 16-yard line. Cougars leading 12-7 here as we approach the end of the first half. Cherry back to throw. Throws under a big rush, and it's incomplete in the end zone. In fact, the pass was thrown out of the end zone. It was out of bounds. Mark Allen covering.
Cherry on a straight drop back again with a lot of pressure. No one has to worry about where he's going when he drops straight back, and he just overthrew the receiver. Mark Allen was back there making a pretty good play. Now it's a field goal, and this is a big field goal because they go in to make it 12-10, and that's a much different game than 12-7. Then they only have to have a field goal to go ahead.
And at the BYU defense again. They gave up the big one and then stop them. So here's a field goal attempt.
Do we have a scouting report on this field goal, on this kicker, Jay?
Richard Spellman on field goals is 3 of 4 this year. He's kicking from the 23, a 33-yard attempt, and the kick is good. He kicked it through there.
That's a big lift. That was the first offensive drive where Hawaii came away with points, and now the offense is really moving. The defense has got things going, and Hawaii really has some momentum right now.
And the score in the game now is Brigham Young 12, the University of Hawaii has 10. And now they will kick off to BYU with about just under 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The kickoff taken by Parker at the goal line. He'll run it back, 10, 15, out to the 19-yard line. Here's an injury report. Brad Smith, just a sore neck muscle. They say he'll probably be okay and get back in there.
He's had kind of a pinched nerve in the back of his neck for quite a few weeks. Really painful thing, but what they do is they just kind of rub it out before game time and see if he can play with it.
1:39 to go in the first half. Brigham Young 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line as the Cougars try to put something together here offensively. Bosco at quarterback. Getting him a tough time here tonight, the Hawaii defense. Cougars still ahead, however, 12-10. Bosco to pass, does pass, incomplete. Little short, intended for Heimuli. Almost, well, when it went by Heimuli, Fred Hemphill made a dive for it, couldn't get it.
This is exactly what can happen to a quarterback when he's had kind of a rocky start. Then he's got people in his face, like we said, it makes him really nervous. And Robbie's sitting back, he's not getting his feet set real strong. He's kind of on his heels, waiting for someone to hit him, and then he doesn't get the ball off where he wants it to be. What he's got to do is be strong, have confidence in his front line that they're going to get the job done, and then they can start moving the football.
Robbie's 8 of 19, 1 interception, 107 yards. He has 2nd and 10. Running play, Parker, sweep to the outside, left side. Slips through one tackler and is up over the 25-yard line. So Parker on a sweep to the left side, power play for BYU. The clock running with 1:21 to go in the half.
I'll tell you, Ana Tuiasosopo had a great play. You'll see number 45 trying to work his way down the line of scrimmage. Actually, it was 94, gets a piece of Robert. And that's strong running by Robert Parker, because usually that might bring down a little guy when a big defensive tackle grabs you by the shirt. But it didn't that time. That's a strong, straight-ahead running by Robert Parker.
3rd and 5 for Brigham Young. Just under a minute now to go in the first half. Bosco back to pass on 3rd down. Looking. Scrambling to the outside. He's going to run it himself. See if he made the yardage for the first down. He was out of bounds. He dropped the football, but he had already gone out of bounds.
Well, I tell you.
And I think he made the first down.
He take a real lick at the sidelines, and I think he made the first down by about half a foot, but he really paid for that one. Robbie's kind of a loper, boy. When he gets going, he can go, but it takes him a little while to get started. You'll see him drop straight back, and you got to give credit to the Hawaii defensive secondary. Look at all the time he's got. Can't find an open guy. And that's Al Noga. Number 54 is Al Noga, and any of you that have been paying attention to Hawaii football last few years ago, Falanika Noga was an All-American candidate for the Hawaii defense for quite a few years, and you guess he's his brother. Made a good play. Looked kind of like Falanika Noga.
It is a first down by the length of the football. So Brigham Young still with the ball with 40 seconds left to go in the half. The Cougars leading Hawaii by a score of 12-10.
Actually, Jay, 40 seconds is plenty of time to get a few pass plays, get down in range for Lee Johnson, if not a touchdown. It's been done many, many times before. And they could really use a score.
Real tight struggle. This is turning into, in many ways, the kind of game we expected from the start of the year, with the two teams who are the favorites to win the league championship. Bosco to pass. The rush is on. Screen. Heimuli with the ball. Heimuli for the sidelines is down at the 34-yard line. Boy, they hit him pretty hard that time.
They sure did.
Making the hit was number 55, Everett Wade.
And that time, old Pete Noga got a chance at Robbie Bosco. Must be a brother tandem in there. And they're just taking turns, taking shots at Robbie. He really took a hit on that screen pass. Got it out to Lake, and then Lake took a pretty good hit. So I'll tell you that Hawaii defense is really moving around the football.
Only 10 seconds left to go in the half. Now a whistle sounds, and the referee comes up to the center position to talk to one of the other officials with 4 seconds left to go in the half.
You know, BYU still had a timeout and didn't use it, Jay. Now they got only 4 seconds. This would be the last play of the half. They could have got 2 plays off if they would have used that last timeout. I don't know why they didn't.
Okay, 2nd down and 7. Probably the last play of the half. Bosco chased out of the pocket, now passes, and it's caught by Kelly Smith, who's up to the 43-yard line, and the half ends. And the Hawaii team is pumped up, and so is the crowd. That ends the first half of the football game after 1 half of play. It's Brigham Young 12, the University of Hawaii has 10. Jay Monson and Steve Young with Brigham Young University football. We're back at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, where the Cougars are struggling. They are ahead of Hawaii by a score of 12-10. They're winning the statistic battle. They've held Hawaii to 36 yards rushing. 151 total yards in the game, and 115 of that passing. BYU has 126 passing and 59 rushing. Individually, Heimuli has 50 yards for BYU. Bosco was 10 of 21 for 126 yards in the first half. Cherry was 4 of 15 for 53 yards. But it's been a defensive struggle.
It really has been, you know, and I think that we look at the BYU offense that's really sputtering, and what's happened is Hawaii's really thrown off their timing. And the receivers are going out a little off balance. Robbie's dropping back off balance. He's feeling pressure, and that's really caused concern for I'm sure for the BYU coaches, because that's where BYU is successful, is execution, by timing and being people in the right place at the right time. And when that doesn't happen, BYU's not used to that. They're used to everything working out very perfectly, very much on schedule, and that's what's happened. And you got to give credit to the Hawaii defense, because they really are selling out to put pressure on Robbie.
Cougars took the lead early in the game by a score of 12-0. They got 2 field goals to start with. One in the first, one in the second period, then got a touchdown after a pass interception, led 12-0. Then Hawaii came back, and they got a TD. It was a blocked punt that went into the end zone, was recovered in the end zone for the touchdown, and got the extra point. It was 12-7. Then came back and got a field goal towards the end of the first half. And so it is 12-10 right now. BYU leading, but by only 2 points. Now the Cougars were about 21 point favorites coming into this game. You're seeing a very fired up Hawaii team. You know, Steve, this happens a lot in sports. A team that's an underdog, if they catch fire early, then they're tough.
And that's the thing, like I said right at the outset, the first play of the game, BYU, they come in number 4. Now, Hawaii can neutralize that number 4 ranking by just getting the momentum going their direction. Then it becomes a great ball game. Who cares what the ranking is? They have the crowd behind them, and that's what they've done. They've erased that number 4 ranking, essentially, and saying, we don't care what you rank. We can play with you, and they've got the confidence now, so they could be number 1 in the nation, and it's really been erased mentally, because the Hawaii's got the momentum.
Richard Spellman will kick off to BYU to open the second half, so the Cougars will have possession to open the second half of the game.
Coach Edwards, that's why he defers that choice to the second half, because he loves to have the ball to open the second half to establish that running game, the passing game again. He wants Robbie Bosco with the football to start of the second half.
By Sikahema and Robert Parker, the two deep men for BYU. As Spellman is ready to kick off now, the Cougars leading by 2 points. They've led from the start, but Hawaii's closed in on them. Here's the kick. It'll come to Sikahema. He takes it at the 2-yard line. He's out to the 10. He's out to the 20. He's up to the 25. He's still on his feet at the 35-yard line. Good return. Leading tacklers in the first half for BYU, Marv Allen. 4 initials and 2 assists. Gavea had 4. And Garrick did injure his right knee. Will not play anymore in this game today. Well, good return by Sikahema to give the Cougars fairly good field position to open the second half. They have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. A return of about 33 yards. Bosco at quarterback. They banged him up pretty good in the first half. Running play to Heimuli. Bounces off a tackler, goes for the outside to the 40, and is up to the 46-yard line. The ball's knocked out of his hands, but it says he goes out of bounds. And an 11-yard gain for Heimuli.
That's what they see, all helmet and knees out of Lake, and that was a great run.
Okay, a first down play for BYU as Heimuli, a rush for 50 yards in the first half. Picked up another 11 there.
Well, Lake's a lot like KCT Molly. You'd think he wasn't too quick because of his low center of gravity, just sort of looks like a short, compact kind of guy. But actually, he's very, very quick, and he showed you his speed on the outside.
1st and 10 Cougars on their own 46-yard line. So he gained about 13 yards on that run. Bellini goes in motion to the left side. Here's a running play to Parker coming the other way. Tries to turn the corner, knocked off his feet at the 49. Good tackle that time by Richard Miano, or Parker might have had another 20.
Miano's really playing a heck of a game. He's made a couple of big plays in the defensive secondary. Now he's forcing the sweep wide. That's a very important thing for a strong safety to do. He's one of the best in the conference.
Gain of about 3 yards. Call it 2nd and 7 for the Cougars up near the 49-yard line, their own 49. Third quarter of the game opening. BYU ahead 12-10, trying to reestablish control of this football game. They're showing a pass rush. Bosco back to throw over the middle. Completes it to Mills, his tight end. And Mills is into Hawaii territory before he's forced out of bounds.
Well, there's the same kind of play that we saw earlier in the game when it was a blitz. What they call is they just read on the run, and the strong safety comes. David Mills just turns outside, and there's just a communication thing between the quarterback and the tight end, and great communication between Robbie and David Mills.
16-yard gain on the pass to Mills, Steve. And BYU has a first down now on the Hawaii 34-yard line. So the Cougars at this point are putting together their best drive of the game and see if they can keep it going. Bosco at quarterback. Back to pass again. Good protection this time. Gets it off. Incomplete. Intended for Kelly Smith at the 28-yard line. Kelly hit as the ball got there.
Really not a very good pass. You know, the coaches, we just got a word from the playing field that Robbie Bosco has kind of hurt that back, that lower back that's been bothering him for a couple of weeks. They've been draining blood out of it, and it got re-injured again here in the first half, and I think he's kind of wobbling around, not really at 100%. You can see on that pass right there that to Kelly Smith, he was just a little bit off. He's not setting his feet, and I think he might be hurting a little bit, Jay.
Okay, 2nd and 10 for BYU on the Hawaii 34-yard line. Cougars leading 12-10 as we open the third quarter of the game. Bosco to pass. No, it's the draw, but it doesn't work. Draw to the tailback, Kelly Smith, and Kelly's dropped with a 2-yard loss to the 36-yard line.
Here's a replay. You'll see Thad Jefferson, the inside linebacker, just reads the play and beats the block by the guard. That's the old draw trap that they've run a couple times today, and the guard was just a little bit late, and Thad Jefferson made a great play inside.
Well, BYU had moved the ball very nicely on this drive. Now they are in the hole a bit. It's 3rd and 12 on the Hawaii 35.5-yard line. Bosco at quarterback. Sweep to the left side to Kelly Smith. Bumps off one tackler and fumbles the football. Hawaii will get it at midfield. So Brigham Young had a good drive going, and then they give up the football at midfield.
You know, Jay, that's an interesting call on 3rd and 12. It's just a plain sweep. I don't think that's BYU's best call at 3rd and 12. I think that might be a 3rd and 3 type play. And here number 27 comes back after he gets blocked outside the play, strips Kelly of the ball, and Hawaii makes a big cover. I really have to question that play call. The sweep, to me, is not a 3rd and 12 call, but you don't question Coach Chow too much, because I'll tell you, he calls most of the right plays.
Hawaii gets the ball on the turnover, so this Hawaii defense has really played some football. They have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. There's a running play up the middle, and they get a good gainer, about 7 yards. The ball carrier is number 30, Fa'aola, the fullback. Opened a hole off the right side and shot right up the middle.
That Hawaii defense has really fired up the Hawaii offense. They're out there. They're getting a couple nice plays on 1st down. I tell you, Jay, to win this ball game, Cherry's got to be able to move around. He can't drop straight back. I don't think they can do enough to the BYU defense with Cherry straight back.
2nd down and 4 after a 6-yard gain. Cherry with the ball. There's a pitch back coming wide to the right side. That'll be close to the yardage for the 1st down. Coming around the corner was Marco Johnson, and I think he got the 1st down yardage.
Too. By about a half a foot.
He did. It's a 1st down.
This is about the only place where we can have a great field of vision.
We can see them here.
Right at the 50-yard line.
1st and 10, Hawaii now into BYU territory. They have the ball on the Cougar 48-yard line.
There's some Hawaii boosters, it looks like, having some good time tonight.
Boy, they're enjoying this right now. The crowd is really into the ball game now. 1st and 10, Hawaii on the Brigham Young 48. The Cougars lead by just 2 points. Cherry with the football. Handoff up the middle. They opened a hole off the right side and gain about 5 more. The ball carrier, Fa'aola, the fullback again. He's down to the 43 and a half yard line.
Cherry is really a great play faker. That time it almost looked like he was going to pitch it back and hands off to the first man through. I think he's very deceptive. Not only is he a great athlete, he's very deceptive with the football. He hides it well. He's a great play faker and a playmaker. And you got to give him a lot of credit.
2nd down and 6 for Hawaii on the Brigham Young 44-yard line. Cherry got away from one man, goes up the middle, gets away from some others, and then is tackled from behind at the 35-yard line. I thought they had him for a loss.
What happened, Jay, was that was the quarterback draw that they ran down about the 20-yard line before, and actually what happened was one of the defensive players for BYU got in his road, he got around him, then he got started again. You'll see that he starts to head upfield like it's a quarterback draw, and he's still got the blockers upfield. You'll see the lineman downfield blocking for him, and you'll see a great athlete right here. I'll tell you, with him with the ball going down like that, it's a great gain of 8 yards.
8-yard gain for a 1st down. 1st down on the BYU 35-yard line. We had movement along the line, but no flags dropped. There's a handoff up the middle. Not much of a gain this time. Hey, the ball was dropped. The ball was dropped, and I think Brigham Young has it. Let's see if they rule the play down first.
I'll tell you, this might be about the 3rd fumble call that they've missed.
It's BYU's football.
They got it. Here's a replay. You'll see him lose the ball right there. He's stripped of the ball. It looks like maybe David Neff or Larry Hamilton.
It's Ladakeo who covers it.
Ladakeo or Ladakeo.
He got it, but I don't know who stripped it. I mean, he came up with the ball, Steve, after it was on the ground. So the Cougar defense turns it back over after BYU lost to
that. That is
fumble.
a big play for the Cougars right now to get that drive stop. That's got to be a little bit of a motion stopper for the offense, for Hawaii's offense. They had it going.
They were getting close enough. A field goal would have given them the lead.
Yeah, it really would have. And, the biggest asset, like we said, Hawaii's got is that Cherry as a quarterback. And it's more of the times they put the ball in his hands, the better off they'll be.
1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Cougars' 33-yard line. Bosco at quarterback, 1 setback. Parker's in a slot on the left side, 2 men wide to the left. Bosco looking to throw. Does throw, completes it to Parker. Parker slips a tackle and then is down. Gains about 5. They tried to get Parker one-on-one on somebody out there, but he couldn't get him open. He did catch the pass. 2nd down call coming for Brigham Young after a gain of about 5. Call it 2nd and 5.5 for BYU. Time left, 10:35 in the 3rd quarter. Neither team has scored in the 3rd quarter, and Brigham Young's hanging on to a 12-10 lead. Right up the middle this time, Heimuli may have the 1st down. Good driving that time.
Yeah, sure was. He was down about the 40-yard line, gained 4 extra yards on sure willpower, and that's the strength of Lake Heimuli.
Heimuli rushed for 50 yards in the 1st half.
Here's just a trap play right up the middle. He just reads it off the left side. and look at him go.
BYU with a first down on the the BYU 44-yard line. Cougars had 12-10, third quarter. They load up the line this time. Bosco gives it a running play again to Heimuli. Heimuli gains a couple of yards, and that's all.
You know, Jay, it's interesting. BYU has not attempted a long pass, and I think the reason is because Robbie is a little bit injured. I don't think they feel like he can really let the ball fly. They haven't, and that might explain that 3rd and 12 call, because they really don't feel like Robbie has the arm right now. Maybe that back is bothering him enough to stop that. We'll have to see if they keep running the ball. It might be an explanation for what's happening right now.
2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain for the Cougars on their own 46-yard line. Bosco at quarterback, Kozlowski and Haysbert wide to the right. Bosco to pass. Gets it off, completes it this time. Kozlowski is hit hard, but he hung on to the football. At the 45-yard line, Kozlowski hit pretty hard that time by Kurt Kafensis. And Kafensis and Kozlowski exchange pleasantries after that one.
Pleasantries, right.
First down.
Is a scrappy kind of guy. Robbie dropped back and set up very, very well that time and threw the ball very well. Maybe he's not as bad hurt as we think.
9-yard gain on the pass. First down, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 45-yard line.
You know, the big thing is Hawaii's really not selling out anymore. They're not putting the pressure on Robbie they did the first half, and that could be the big play. They've got to be able to put pressure on Bosco.
Kozlowski and Bellini wide to the right. It's a sweep to the left side, and Parker dropped the ball, picks it up himself, and will be thrown for a loss. Well, they had the sweep going. It looked like there was some blocking out there, too, and Parker dropped the football. He picked it up on the bounce.
You'll see the replay right here. It's just the old sweep play. And I don't think if anyone hit him. I think he just didn't get the handle on it. Yep, no, he didn't. He was just changing hands as he got the ball from Robbie. And really a pretty good athletic move to pick up the ball and still get something out of it, if not much at all. But at least keep the ball away from Hawaii. That would have been a big, big play for Hawaii.
Bosco's 13 of 25 now for 155 yards. And it's 2nd down and 20 for the Cougars.
Looks like the blitz is on. Robbie's going to audible.
He looks to pass, and they get him this time. They got through, and Robbie just ate the football.
That's the thing that they need to do. They had it going all first half, and I think Coach Tomey's going to be happy to see that. They sold out again on the blitz, and that puts a lot of pressure on those defensive cornerbacks. You'll see there are a couple of guys running open. Adam crossing in front of David Mills. They're going to be open, but they're just hoping they get to Robbie in time, and that time they did. Now they put BYU in a tough position about 3rd and 22.
5th sack, a 3-yard loss. 3rd down, and about 22 yards to go for a first down back on the Cougar 44-yard line.
You know, Jay, 5 sacks has got to be the tops this year so far for BYU,
right.
Isn't it?
I'm sure that's correct. So here's Bosco. He needs long yardage. BYU leading 12-10 in the 3rd quarter. Bosco back to pass. Throws for the sidelines. I don't know if that was caught or not. Did Haysbert hang on to it?
Great catch by Adam Haysbert.
He did. Hawaii's protesting, but the officials will rule that Haysbert caught the ball. No, now they say they did not. They changed their minds.
I'll tell you, they make a call right in front of the Hawaii bench when so much momentum is going on. We're going to get a good look at it here. Just a comeback right about the flag. They're going to be a little bit short no matter what happens here. Great throw by Robbie. We'll see if it touches the ground. That's a tough call. That's a really tough call. Great effort by Adam, you got to say that, but I think right in front of the Hawaii bench with Hawaii with momentum, those refs are having a tough time making a call right there in front of the bench.
Biggest play of the game for Hawaii came on a blocked punt in the 2nd period, and they blocked it in the end zone for a touchdown. They are known for as a team who likes to block punts. So let's see what happens. The Cougars have the ball, 4th down and 21, and Johnson trying to kick from his own 30. The snap is right to him, and he gets the kick away. Kicks it down. Good Cougar bounce. Let's see if the Cougars can cover it. Inside the 10-yard line, they do. Great coverage by BYU's special teams unit.
But, you know, Jay, they might have covered that one a little bit too fast. Looked like it might have rolled down maybe inside the 5.
Might have got inside the 5. I don't know if did Hawaii have the rush on that time, Steve, because there was nobody back deep.
It didn't look like it, but I mean, you know, they might have shored up the problems that, you know, BYU covered unit might have shored up the problems that they had the first time. They might still be coming after it, but that time they blocked it much better.
It's a 50-yard punt for Lee Johnson, and with 7 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter, Brigham Young leading 12-10. Hawaii has the ball now, 1st and 10 on their own 8-yard line. Cherry at quarterback, running play on first down. Santiago does get outside. Good gainer, 10 yards. Kyle Morrell over there for BYU. Or check that. That is Junior Lapati. That's the freshman from Salt Lake City.
He's making BYU pay for it right now. Here's a replay. It's just a sweep play, and the running back has a choice whether to go inside, outside, and that's some speed to get outside of Kyle Morrell or Mark Allen.
He ran it out to the 21-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 for Hawaii on their own 21, a 14-yard run by Lapati.
I really like the way that Hawaii is really changing on the pace. They're dropping back, they're throwing, Cherry on the draw, sweeps, the quick handoff. I think the best thing to do is keep the ball with Cherry and have him run around.
First down play. Cherry with the ball, gives to the second man, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard that time. Good defensive play by the Cougars. Marv Allen was there. Gavea was there for Brigham Young.
I think the key to that play, the big block on that play is a down block on Jim Herman to see if they can cut him off. If they can cut him off, they're going to get outside and get some yards. Jim just made a stalemate right there in the hole, and that's what caused Marv Allen to have a shot at the running back.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10 for Hawaii on the 21-yard line. Cherry with the ball, still has it, sprinting, looking, throws, juggled and hit hard and down. Gain of 4. Nice catch that time under pressure by Luis Santiago. We'll make a 3rd down.
Here's what I like. This is the call I'd like right now for Cherry is a play fake, rolling to his left. He has a run pass option, just flips it out to Santiago. But boy, that's a risky play. It looks like maybe Kirk Gouveia wanted that ball for an interception.
Gouveia hit him hard. 3rd down for Hawaii on their own 26-yard line. We have 5:44 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Brigham Young leading 12-10. Cherry sends a man in motion to the right side. Back looking to throw. It's batted in the air, and it'll be incomplete. His pass was tipped high in the air, and we had several players going after it. Nobody could get to it. So Hawaii will have to punt. 4th down coming.
You know, it really looks like Cherry if he had the option to throw in that time, to run, the outside looked open if he could have run out there, but he decided to throw and got batted down. I think he's got running room outside if he gets out there far enough and just sees it.
Sikahema dropping back. Tom McCarthy into punt. He'll kick from his own 12-yard line. BYU hanging on to a 2-point lead, and time's running out in the 3rd quarter. Field position very important right now. Here's the kick. High, not very deep. It bounces at the 50-yard line, takes a Hawaii bounce, and will go out of bounds down to the 33-yard line. He didn't kick it very far, but it had a good roll. 40-yard punt.
That was a lucky break for Hawaii. If that ball would have bounced back, they would have had the ball at midfield rather than back at the 34-yard line.
Okay, BYU 1st and 10 on the 34. We have Matic at center.
There's Coach Roger French getting his guys worked up. He's really a motivator down on the field on game day.
Anai and King are the guards. Wright and Wong are the tackles. Remember, Gary got hurt in the first half and is out, will not play anymore in the game today. Here's Kozlowski coming in motion over to the right. Bosco with the ball to Heimuli. Heimuli sprints into the secondary, and then it's hit hard. Gains close to 5, however. Tackled by number 38,
Rich Miano.
Granville. Or is it Miano?
Yeah, it's Miano.
Miano,
He's
okay.
having a great game. He's made some, like we said before, some great plays in the secondary, and he's really forcing the run. Put a good stick on Lake that time. Miano's been around a few years. I remember that name and face from the years past. He's really quite a player.
You got acquainted with him on the field.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, 2nd down, 5.5 for Brigham Young. BYU ahead by 2 points. Bosco to throw, does throw. It's complete to Kozlowski at midfield. He eludes a tackler, gets into Hawaii territory, and then they'll gang tackle him, and a flag goes down, which is probably face mask.
I think it could be.
Kozlowski got to the 48-yard line of the University of Hawaii, catching the pass.
Here's a replay. Kaz just running that quick curl. Robbie sets up and lets it fly, and he makes a great move on the defensive backs right here. Jukes him out of the way and gets about extra 10 yards.
Steve Kozlowski caught that one for 13. He has 7 receptions in the game now. I think he's played the best game of any BYU offensive player.
Oh, and he's the most steady kind of guy.
He's caught 7 for 100 yards.
He's very steady. He's always confident. He doesn't get flustered too much. And that's the kind of guy that BYU needs right now, because it looks like maybe the whole offense is a little bit flustered and causes maybe the steadying force.
5-yard penalty, inadvertent face mask penalty. So the Cougars have a first down on the Hawaii 43-yard line. We only have 4.5 left to go in the third quarter. BYU leading 12-10. Running play, Kelly Smith hit hard for a loss. Kelly, as he tried to turn the corner, and it was sealed off that time by Miano.
It sure was. He had nowhere to run. What happened was they sold out on the blitz again and just guessed the right direction. And BYU ran the sweep to the short side. They don't have much room as it is. Then it gets shut down even more at the numbers about the 50-yard line. And boy, I tell you, Kelly took a hard hit.
Line of scrimmage now the 47-yard line. So it is 2nd and 14 for Brigham Young. Bosco looking for long yardage now. Back to pass. Gets it off. Incomplete. Intended for Mills at the 37-yard line. Bosco was hit as he threw the football that time.
Colin Scott's with the pressure, and that's what's happening all day. People have been in Robbie's face, and that's a tough thing to have as a quarterback. You never know if you're going to get hit from which side, from the blind side. So every time you throw the ball, you don't throw it as strong and with the effectiveness that you do when you know you have confidence, you have time. And then it reflects in the ball that he throws. He's wide. He's over the people's head. It's not a very confident feeling.
Bosco 50% today with his passing, 14 of 28, 168 yards, intercepted once. 3rd and 14 for BYU. Bosco to pass. Chased out of the pocket, gets the pass off. Haysbert dropped the ball down at the 5-yard line. Oh wow. Gosh. Haysbert had it, couldn't hang on to it.
Oh boy, that was the same play that they ran against Pittsburgh that won the game for him. And I tell you, Robbie made a great throw under a lot of pressure, and they didn't think maybe at the halftime that he was going to be able to do that. They said he was really hurting with his back, but I'll tell you, he gave all the effort he needed to there, right in Adams' hands, and just dropped it.
Well, the Cougars almost came up with 6 that time, as Bosco had to stretch out for it, or Haysbert, I should say, but it was a catchable one.
And that's about 3 or 4 drops, isn't it, Jay? And that's
right.
3 or 4 more than BYU's really used to.
Okay, Johnson will punt from his own 40-yard line then, as they'll have to turn it back over to the defense. But the offense almost got 6. Here's the snap. The rush is on. He gets the kick away, however. Trying to kick it out of bounds downfield, and he does. Well, Hawaii will take over deep in their own territory as Brigham Young scared them.
He really did. Pretty good pooch punt by Lee Johnson. They really put the pressure on that time again. And that takes talent. Hawaii had guys there to block the punt, but they don't rough the kicker. They lay off, and that's a very important thing when you put pressure on the kicker, that if you don't get there, don't get the ball back in BYU's hands.
32-yard punt by Lee Johnson, but he wasn't kicking for long distance that time. He was trying to kick it out of bounds, and he did on the 15-yard line. Well, Hawaii has the football. We've struggled through a scoreless third quarter right now with 3:23 left to go in the period. It's Brigham Young 12, Hawaii still 10. Cherry with first down. It's a running play on first down and a gain of about 7. Nice play that time by Junior Lapate, the freshman.
Good strong running up the middle. It's really straightened up Kyle Morrell. Popped him right up and gain of about 8, and that's exactly what Hawaii's got to do. Just get about 4 or 5 yards a chunk and give Cherry the ball on third down. I think they'll be in good shape.
22-yard line, 2nd down and 3. 12-10, Brigham Young, and a struggle. Cherry with the football. Handoff to the right side, might be enough for the first down. This time the fullback, Fa'aula, the ball carrier.
I think it'll be about 2 yards short, and that was Brad Smith in there on the tackle. I don't think his neck's hurting too bad there. He shed a nice block, just shed the center of the blocker.
It's made a nice short too. It's not enough for the first down. 3rd down and still 2 yards to go for the first down. 3rd and 2. Cherry just called timeout. So Hawaii calls time. We have 2:19 left to go in the third quarter, and they have 3rd and 2, and they're trailing by 2 points. Jay Monson and Steve Young with BYU football, 3rd and 2, and Hawaii going for the 2 yards for the first down. I think they made it. They gave to Lapati, their freshman runner, off to the right side, and he plunged forward and got it.
Pretty good surge from that offensive line, and that's the big play. And Dick Tomey said that the defensive line of BYU's was too big to handle. They handled them that time. They keep doing that, they're going to get a points on the board and take the lead. I think this is a big drive for them because no one scored in the second half, and they've got the momentum still in their favor. Get down in field goal territory or get a touchdown, that's what they need, obviously.
Parker has rushed 4 times for 23 yards for BYU. Heimuli 15 for 63. First down play. Cherry back to pass on first down. Throws it over the middle. I don't know if it's caught or not. Is that ruled a catch?
That's a catch. That's a great one-handed
nice catch. Yeah, right.
I think if Cherry has one problem throwing, it's that short ball. He really fires that thing about 8 yards downfield. Really tough ball to catch for a guy just 8 yards away when he throws it 100 miles an hour. And that's one of the things, if he let up a little bit, he can make the easier job of the running backs and the tight end over the middle.
Tight end Shepard Killen caught that one. Nice scooping catch. Second down, 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. It's on the 33-yard line. This time it's a running play, and he won't gain much. Might have got a yard. The ball carried the fullback, Fa'aola. Time running out on this third quarter. We have 1:10 left to play. It's Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 10. BYU with the nation's longest winning streak, 14 consecutive games. And a number 4 national ranking, too. Of course, some other top teams got beat today. Miami, Clemson, UCLA, Iowa.
That's right.
Third down and 3 for Hawaii on the Rainbow 34-yard line. Still with the ball is Cherry, sprinting to the outside. He has the first down. He's to the 43-yard line.
To me, Jay, that's what they've got to do. Run a couple plays and then give Cherry the ball on third down. Let him just go.
And
I don't think they can stop him for 3 yards.
He's shaken up, Steve, on it. He's hobbling as he comes back into the huddle.
He was hurt early late in the second quarter, I think, and it's just might have been aggravated. But he's their greatest asset. To me, I think the play should just go. You know, he should just go in the huddle and says, "I'm going to take the ball. You guys just block, and I'll find some way to get 10 yards." And I bet he could do it. Nice 9-yard pickup as just a quarterback sweep right.
25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Hawaii with the ball at midfield now on their own 43-yard line, first down. Cherry almost drew Smith off sides there, but he got back. Running play, Fa'aola, the fullback, gains only 2 yards. Coming up the middle. Direct handoff that time, and that should end the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play, the score remains Brigham Young 12. The University of Hawaii has 10, and will move now to the fourth quarter with the Cougars ahead by 2. Jay Monson and Steve Young as we go to the fourth quarter of the football game now. The stats have evened up a bit. Total yards, BYU 235, Hawaii 225. As we move into the fourth quarter, it's 2nd and 8. And here's a running play and a good gainer. They're into BYU territory. Shooting forward.
That's right on the first down marker, Jay. Great call. Just a off-tackle trap play. They bring that. See that left guard and that left tackle come over and make the big trap block, and it's just one-on-one versus Kyle Morrell. Kyle puts a pretty good stick on him, but it's still a gain of 8.
8-yard gain. It's close enough they'll have to measure to see if it is a first down. After 3 quarters of play, BYU has 19 first downs. Hawaii has 9. The Cougars have 67. Hawaii 99 rushing. BYU 168. Hawaii 126 passing. And they bring the chains into measure now. Boy, that is close. He has to get down and sight this one. It's so close. And the nose of the football touches that standard, so it's a first down. Okay, Hawaii now with the football in BYU territory. They have it on the Cougar 47-yard line. And they're getting close now to field goal range.
It really is, and they just can't afford the big mistake now.
Brigham Young ahead by 2 points, 12-10. Cherry still with the ball, sprinting to the left, sets up to throw, and it is incomplete. A diving attempt for the catch by Walter Murray, but he couldn't hang on to it.
I'll tell you, a great
flag
throw.
down too.
Yeah, there is, but a great throw by Cherry going left. He just throws on his left side, and just a nice strike down there. It should have been caught. Looks like there might have been holding, though. That's the thing that they can't afford to do right now. The BYU defense is so tough. you have to earn anything you get alone, let alone getting yourself in deeper trouble with a holding call.
That is the call, holding. We'll see what the Cougar team captains elect to do. With the ball at midfield, likely take the penalty here.
Well, I'll tell you, to me, you got 20 yards, 4 downs to get it. I just give it to Raphael Cherry 4 times and just see what he can do.
It's the 10-yard penalty for holding, puts the ball back on the Hawaii 43-yard line and makes it 1st and 20.
Offense, first down.
Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 10. And the 4th quarter of the game just starting. Neither team has scored in the second half. Had a scoreless 3rd quarter. Hawaii scored its 10 points in the 2nd quarter. BYU got 3 in the 1st quarter and 9 in the 2nd quarter. 1st and 20 then for Hawaii. Cherry running play to the outside. He broke a tackle, is up the 50-yard line and down at the 48. Nice run that time by Marco Johnson.
Really was, made a couple of nice moves outside. Made a couple of guys miss. You know, Hawaii's really got to be fired up because they can smell upset.
9-yard gain.
Make a nice move on Sprouse and Leon White there on Kyle Morrell.
It's Brad Smith who got him from behind.
Brad Smith coming from behind. I guess that neck isn't too hurt.
2nd and 11 for Hawaii on the Cougar 48-yard line. Cherry with the ball, rolling to the left, looking, throws it, has a man wide open at the BYU 35-yard line, and he's down there. Heyman and Morrell making the tackle. The ball was caught by number 81, Walter Murray.
Great throw by Cherry. Roll left. See, now he changes the pocket. It's not a straight back pocket. Now he's quick, making everyone a little bit more confused. They don't know where he's going. Fires a pass right to Walter Murray on a turn in. Hold on to that ball.
14-yard gain. And Hawaii, they've trailed right from the start of this game.
I think that's the key, is get Cherry away from that pocket so that Jim Herman and Larry Hamilton and Brad Smith don't know exactly where he's going to be, and they can put pressure on that way. Then it makes them worry a little bit where that elusive Cherry is.
1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, and Hawaii has a man jump offsides.
They have the holding call that puts them 1st and 20. Now they're going to have an offsides call puts them 1st and 15. That's not winning football. They're getting it done right now, but they can't keep putting themselves in a hole.
Brian Derby's the young man who shot forward. Will be encroachment.
Think he was fired up?
I think so.
He was 10 yards into the defensive backfield before he figured out he was offsides.
Well, they had 1st and 20 a moment ago and picked up the big 1st down. Now they face 1st and 15 on the BYU 39-yard line. Time left, 13:30 in this football game. Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 10.
A field goal or a touchdown puts them ahead here, Jay, and they've got to get one more 1st down, and then they're in shape for it. And I think it'd be a tough play for BYU to come back. They got plenty of time, but the momentum's not in their favor, and that Rainbow defense has been really kind of awesome all day, or all night.
Hawaii with the football. Raphael Cherry is the quarterback. Has played a good game. Now there's a bit of confusion. He's moving a halfback from the right side over the left side, and moves his tight end over the left. Now back. Now they call timeout. They obviously did not know what they were doing that time.
You know, to me, they might have been lining up in an unbalanced line. Hawaii has done that in the last few years. That means they bring the other tackle to the other side. It makes 5 offensive linemen on one side. It causes a lot of pressure for the defense. It just seems like they got messed up.
Timeout on the field. 13 minutes, 9 seconds left to play in the ball game. It's Brigham Young 12, Hawaii 10. Okay, back to the football game. Hawaii with the ball. 1st and 15. Cherry with a running play. Big hole up the middle. And they may have a 1st down to the 24-yard line. Nice run that time by number 30, Fa'aola. And boy, Hawaii is fired up now.
Really are, and they're opening the holes. They're not just fired up and talking about it. They're doing the job. They're opening the holes up the middle. That's where BYU is the strongest. Nice 14-yard gain right up the gut of the BYU defense. The BYU defense has got to be a little bit off balance. The play again to me is to get Cherry moving around outside. Now they've established themselves up the middle. But maybe Coach Tomey feels like if they're going to do it once, they're going to do it again.
2nd and 1 on the BYU 25-yard line. Cherry will go for it himself, and he makes it. So Cherry just dives off the left side, and now the Hawaii team has a 1st down inside the 25-yard line.
Now they're in field goal range. They should come away with this with leading the ball game. They can't come away with nothing. They've done too much, worked too hard to not take the lead. So it's very important that they keep hold of the ball. They don't give a big turnover up. If Cherry's going to throw the ball, make sure about what he throws it. Don't just throw it up for grabs, and make sure they get some points out of this possession.
12:20 left to play in the game. First down. Hawaii sends a man in motion this time. The handoff comes outside wide to the right side to the 20-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Sprouse for BYU on Lapate.
That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle there, Jay. It looked like he was going to get outside. That's about the first down play in the series that they haven't had a penalty. They got to feel pretty good about that.
Well, they have a second down call now on the Cougar 20-yard line. Second down and 8. Second down and 7 make it. Hawaii is playing good ball control football right now. 11:29 to play in this football game. Brigham Young hanging on to a narrow 2-point lead. Cherry with the ball. It's the running play. Gain of 3 right up the middle to the fullback. Fa'aola, the fullback, the carry that time.
Looks like it might be about third and about 2 or 3. To me, it's a big call, but yet it doesn't have to be tremendously successful. They're still in range for the field goal. They'd love the touchdown, but just make sure. Don't put up a high-risk play where they can get the big turnover.
Third down, Steve. They have about 4, maybe 3.5 or 4 yards for the first down, near the Cougar 16-yard line. And the crowd urging them on. It's the running play. He did not make the first down.
To me, if it's fourth down, Jay, there's no doubt the call that's got to be made. The field goal kicker's got to come in and take the lead. I'm sure the crowd and Cherry and everyone else will want him to take that fourth down play to go for the first down.
Well, they may have to measure. I didn't think he made it, but now the officials say let's measure.
I think there's no doubt about the call. If it's fourth down and Coach Tomey doesn't go for the field goal, I've really got to question it. They're going to come in and measure. I think they might be a few inches short, but to me, there's no doubt about what to do right here.
Well, Cherry's over there saying, hey, keep him over there. We can make it.
Yeah, well, that's, like I said, that's the quarterback's job.
Hawaii began this drive on their own 15 with 3:23 left in the third quarter. It is not enough for the first down.
It's fourth and about 3 inches, but I still don't think there's any doubt what you need to do here.
Well, they're going to go for it.
Well,
they are not going for the field goal.
Hindsight's going to be 20/20, Jay, but I'll tell you, they got in trouble early in the game here. If they don't get this one, they've cost themselves a ball game. I really believe that.
Fourth down and 6 inches to go for the first down. BYU leading by 2. Cherry at quarterback.
Obviously the biggest play of the game. It might be Cherry right up the middle, but I'll tell you.
It is Cherry, and I think he made it. Well, they thought they could do it, and they did.
I guess that's not a bad play to put it in Cherry's hands, but like we said, early in the game, that cost him the 3 points or a touchdown before. It's just a center. All Cherry does is stand up with the ball, find out where the hole is in the front 3 guys, and just dive into it and get that extra couple of feet that he needed for the first down.
First and goal for Hawaii, or check that. First and 10 for Hawaii on the Brigham Young 12-yard line.
I guess if Hawaii's going to win the game and beat the number 4 team, they're not going to do it kicking field goals.
Cherry gives to his fullback, breaks through the line of scrimmage and inside the 5-yard line. And BYU will get hit with the penalty, too, for a late hit.
That sure will. That'll put it down about the 1.5-yard line.
So the Hawaii team, they're going crazy.
Hawaii has really taken control of the defensive front line of Jim Herman and Brad Smith and Larry Hamilton. They're kind of controlling those guys right now in the defense, and the linebackers, and it's opening those big holes, and that hasn't happened all year so far. So you got to give credit to that offensive line of Hawaii for really taking control of the line of scrimmage, which they haven't been able to do, obviously, in the first 2 games.
10 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in this football game. And Hawaii trails by 2 points, but they're going to have first and goal. As they're spelling an upset, they would break the nation's longest winning streak if they beat BYU, 14 consecutive games. Personal foul on BYU is half the distance to the goal line, so it is first and goal on the 2-yard line.
To me, like we've been talking all day, give the ball to Cherry, give him a run-pass option outside to the wide side. I think it'll be an easy score, but the way they've been opening up the middle, they got about any choice they want right now.
Hawaii playing some great football. They've really put it together in this game. Cherry will try to score himself, and he did. At least I think he did. Now the officials are delaying the call.
It'll be about another
I guess
foot.
he didn't. I thought he slipped through there, but the officials say he's short by inches. So it'll be 2nd and goal. And we're inside 10 minutes left in this football game now.
It's the same play that got him the first down 2 plays ago, and it gained him about a half yard. They need another half a yard to score.
2nd and goal on the half-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him do the same thing again.
That's what they try. Did he make it this time? The Hawaii team says he did. I guess the officials will say he did not. Can you believe that? That is close. So it's 3rd and goal now on the 1-inch line.
I'll tell you, that's resting on the goal line, Jay. Here's a tough call because you know BYU is going to be solid right up front in the middle, especially. You don't know if you want to go outside on an outside play with 2 inches to gain.
Well, BYU doesn't want to give up that lead. They're not giving it up easily. I don't know if he made it that time.
Sure
we had
did.
a BYU linebacker go right over the top and hit him. Or it may have been Kyle Morrell come right over the top.
If it's 4th down, and it is, here's another big call.
They lost some yardage that time.
I think they did. Kyle Morrell really timed that play perfectly. Dove, committed himself. It would have been offsides if he would have missed it. But at the half-inch line, it doesn't really matter if he's offsides. He's going to try to time it up, jump over the line of scrimmage, and make
Steve,
a play.
it's the field goal unit coming in now.
I don't know. It's a tough call. I think it's the right call to lead the ball game. Make BYU score some more points to put them ahead and win the ball game. Put
4th
the
and
pressure on
goal.
the number 4 ball club in the nation.
4th and goal on the half-yard line, and they have Spellman in now to try to put him ahead with a field goal. So that's a good goal line stand by Brigham Young. Spellman has 1 field goal in the game. BYU still leading by 2. Here's the kick. It's good. He kicked it right through there. So Hawaii does get the lead out of it, but they did not get in with a touchdown. With 8:21 left to play in the football game, Hawaii now has the lead by a score of 13-12. Hawaii has just taken the lead, 13-12. Steve, 21 plays, 10 minutes in that drive, moving 84 yards, and Spellman gets the field goal.
Tremendous drive by the Hawaii offense.
Here's the kickoff, and there'll be no return by BYU. Kicked into the end zone. So now we'll see if the Cougar offense can do something. BYU has not been able to put anything together offensively in the second half. With the score now 13-12, Hawaii leading. BYU will take over 1st and 10. And the Cougars have the ball on their own 20-yard line, and they need some offense. Robbie Bosco at quarterback. Heimuli is the setback. 1st down from the 20. Bosco to pass. Does pass, completes it to Heimuli. He's down at the 27-yard line.
Pretty good ball control type pass completion. That's what BYU wants to do. Coach Chow wants to settle the crowd down. A couple of nice completions for a 1st down. That's all he needs right now. So he's going to set it up with a couple of just dump-off passes to the running back for 6, 7, 8 yards. Quiet down the crowd, then they go to work like they have for the last 3 games.
In the second half, BYU has moved the ball several times, but not been able to sustain a drive. They get into Hawaii territory and then bog down. 2nd down, 2.5.
Here comes the blitz, Jay.
Bosco back. Pretty good protection this time. Throws it deep. Caught by Mills, the tight end, and Mills is down to the 45-yard line of Hawaii. I think that's the first reception today for Dave Mills.
It really was, and it was a great throw by Robbie Bosco over the zone defense. You'll see him drop about 8 men back. They fake the blitz and drop about 8 guys in the defensive secondary. Robbie just waits for it. You'll see Mills crossing your screen right there, and he sees that he has to loft it over the linebackers. And just a great throw and a great catch by David Mills. He's made a couple of big plays in the last couple of games, and that was one right there.
30-yard gain. 1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Hawaii 43-yard line. Now, they've been able to do this in the second half, but haven't been able to sustain it once they get into Hawaii territory.
They're faking the blitz again, Jay, or coming with it. They come with it.
Bosco completes it to Kozlowski. He's down to the 25, down to the 20. Cuts back into the middle and finally is down inside the 15-yard line. Fine run by Kozlowski.
That time they came with the blitz. They showed the blitz. They came with it. They sold out. No one covered Koz, and Robbie just straightened up and hit Koz right over the middle. Wide open for a big gainer. Hawaii's been successful all day long. You'll see right here, Robbie just straightens up and lets it fly. Hawaii's been very successful all day long with the sellout blitz, but look at that. No one's even covering them.
29-yard gain, and Kozlowski, how many's he caught now? Is that 9? 9 receptions in the game for Glenn Kozlowski. BYU 1st and 10 on the Hawaii 15-yard line. Cougars have not scored in the second half. Running play, Heimuli. Heimuli up the middle, works hard for 3 or 4 yards.
Well, at least they're down in field goal range no matter what happens down here, as long as there's not a turnover.
That's Heimuli running now, 63.
They've got plenty of time, plenty of space. Lee Johnson's in plenty of good field goal position, so they're in good shape for at least get the lead back in the game.
2nd down and 8 for Brigham Young on the Hawaii 13-yard line. Cougars trailing by 1 point. The blitz is on. Bosco gets the pass off. Mills catches it. He's horse-collared at the 7-yard line.
Flag down, might have been offsides.
Okay, flag down at the line of scrimmage. Hawaii says it's on BYU. It is. It's on the Cougars. Illegal motion on BYU. They would have had the ball on the 7-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but now it'll cost them 5 yards.
Well, I tell you, that's a big call. Puts them about 2nd and 5th, about 13.
6:23 left in the football game. Kozlowski's caught 8 for 129. Checking that. Bosco's now 17 of 32 for 234 yards. Well, BYU trailing by 1 point, trying to get the lead back. We'll have the ball 2nd down and 13. 2nd and 13 on the 18. As they've moved well in this particular drive, now slows down a little bit. Kozlowski back in for BYU, bringing the play in.
I don't expect Hawaii to change any of their defensive philosophy for this game. They've got to keep coming at Robbie. Sooner or later, they're going to get to him. They got to believe that.
2nd down play. Bosco to throw. Rushes on. Chased out of the pocket. They get him. They sack him on the 26-yard line. He didn't see the man from behind.
Alvin Satelli. You know, they had a big article about Alvin in the newspaper. He was a Mormon guy from Hawaii, and it's one of the few Mormon players that BYU didn't get to go to BYU. Makes a nice play around. It looks like the running back, Lewis Wong. He just beats Lewis Wong around the end. And Satelli made a great play. Got Robbie by the shoestring. Now they're almost out of field goal range.
6 sack, 8-yard loss. It's 3rd down and 20 for BYU. So the Cougars were knocking on the scoring door when that penalty hurt them, and now a sack. Bosco back to pass. Throws for the end zone. Kozlowski catches it for a touchdown. Nice pass by Robbie Bosco, and Kozlowski was really ahead. The afterburners on.
I'll tell you, that's a great throw and a great catch with a lot of pressure situation. 26-yard TD. The same play that Adam Haysbert dropped the pass in the post. It's just a post route right over the middle. Robbie lofts it up for Kaz. Kaz got a step on him. You can't ask for a better throw than that.
Hey, Steve, we got to go back and think of that goal line stand, too.
Really
they had to settle for the field goal when
Hawaii had a chance to go up by 4 or 5 or even 6 and make this extra point a big play.
And for BYU, when Kyle Morrell came charging in and made that good play.
Sure did.
Well, Brigham Young has the lead again. Cougars 18 and Hawaii 13. They'll go for a 2-point conversion. Kozlowski goes in motion. Bosco rolling that way. Throws, and it is caught in the end zone, intercepted in the end zone. Miano stepped in front of Haysbert and grabbed it.
But still forces Hawaii to score a touchdown to win the football game. They got 5:24 left, plenty of time. They got to get a good drive together, good play selection, and they can get down there, but the field goal is not going to win it. Here's a replay. Robbie Bosco with the run-pass option. No one's open, lofts it over the middle, and makes a nice play in the interception right here.
Okay, with 5:24 to go in the game, Brigham Young leads 18-13. Jay Monson and Steve Young with BYU football. The Cougars just moved 80 yards in 6 plays, 2 minutes and 57 seconds to score. It's a pass from Bosco to Kozlowski, and the Cougars lead 18-13. Here's Johnson's kick. It'll come down on the 15-yard line, back to the 20-yard line, breaks into the open for just a moment, and is down at the 35-yard line.
That's a nice kick return, puts him in great position. They've got to score, like I said. BYU's been tough down inside the 20. Look for Cherry to carry the ball, run the ball, throw the ball, be the main man on this drive.
We have 5 minutes and 16 seconds of football left, and Brigham Young has a 5-point lead. So Hawaii will have to get a TD to take the lead. The field goal wouldn't help them now. 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Cherry at quarterback, and the Cougar defense has now given the task of winning the football game. Cherry on 1st down. He'll go with the running play, delayed handoff, good hole up the middle to the 43-yard line, and shooting through is Marco Johnson.
Like you said, Jay, Hawaii's got plenty of time for a nice solid drive. About maybe a few more first downs, so they're going to have to start worrying about time, but right now they got plenty. Do the things they've been doing well. That's right up the middle. They've had the open holes, just keep it going. Make Cherry carry the ball outside. The trap plays up the middle. That's what they've been doing very well, and I think they'll be in good shape.
2nd down and 4. I think Hawaii has only 1 timeout, Steve. Is that what the scoreboard says? 1 timeout is all they have left in the game. Hawaii has an injured player. Heading for the sidelines is number 73, Joe Onosai, who's their big 254-pound sophomore guard, and he's a good one. He's coming out of the game right now. 4:50 left in this football game. Brigham Young ahead by 5.
Right now, Hawaii, they know they're playing the number 4 team in the nation. They're not looking to just play well and walk out losers. They want to win this game. They're close. They know they've played well enough to win. Now they're just going to have to get this last drive together to prove it. But the BYU defense has been tough all year. It's going to be a real fight to get into that end zone.
Here's the 2nd and 4 call. Cherry with the ball. Again, a good hole up the middle. They're opening holes up in the middle of the BYU line right now.
Flag down, Jay. It might be holding. It's right in the area where there's holding. That would be a real unfortunate call.
Fa'aola was the ball carrier. They're coming back quickly. So they know it's on Hawaii, and that's the call, a 10-yard holding penalty. Maybe that's why they're opening up the holes.
I guess so, maybe so.
There you see it on the replay. Fa'aola's had a good game for Hawaii.
He really
How many
has.
yards
He
does he
runs
have rushing? 50? 50 yards rushing. 10-yard walk-off against Hawaii puts the ball back on the 32-yard line. With 4.5 left to play in the ball game, they now have 2nd down and 14.
They really are only in 2 more downs because they can't afford to go on 4th down right now. There's still 4.5 minutes left in this ball game. I don't think they're going to be willing to go on 4th down and give the ball up, maybe put the game away. I think they might go ahead and punt it, but so they've got 2 downs to get those 14 yards.
BYU defense has been on the field a lot in the 2nd half. Cherry will pass. They try to set a screen. It is caught on the sidelines, and a good tackle, I think, by Neff, or is it Sprouse, or both?
The whole team. I tell you, that was the same play that they ran early in the 1st quarter. That was a big play. It's just that set up that screen. Cherry will roll left and throw back to his right, and they try to set up the screen, but BYU read it.
It was Whittingham and Sprouse who made the stop for Brigham Young.
Here you'll see the replay. Here's the roll left. He's trying to set up the screen. You'll see the lineman go running out to the right to set it up, but looks like Sprouse is the one that kind of breaks everything up, forces him to make the move, and then defense converges.
They lost yardage on the play. It is 3rd and 17. Motion man to the left side. Cherry sprinting that way, looking to throw, does throw, almost intercepted. Allen cut in front of the intended receiver. He almost had it. He had a lot of open field in front of him if he caught it too.
He sure did. Cherry just waited too long to throw the ball. Murray was open momentarily, but he waited too long as he rolled out to set his feet, and then he let it fly. Allen made a nice play in front, and that would have been probably the game because he would have had a lot of running room in front of him.
He already has 3 interceptions this year and is leading the WAC in that. So we have a punt coming down. You can bet BYU will watch for the fake punt. As you have in to kick Tom McCarthy, and Sika Hema's back deep. He's the only man back deep for BYU. All the rest of them are up front watching because it's 4th and 17 with 3:32 left to play in this ball game. McCarthy kicks it. Pretty good kick. Fair catch, the signal by Sika Hema, takes it and drops right there. He just wanted to make sure he hung on to the football that time. 39-yard punt.
He had plenty of room to make the run back, but I think the coach just said, hey, get a hold of the ball, set it down, let's get that offense rolling. I don't want to take a chance for a clipping call or a fumble. Just catch the ball and set it down.
3:26 left to play in this football game. And Brigham Young has the lead by a score of 18-13. And the Cougars have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line.
There you see the BYU doctors and trainers. They've had a really busy day today. Hard-hitting ball game, a lot of injured players.
In fact, as you mentioned, Steve, Robbie Bosco is playing hurt here in the second half, banged up a bit. 1st down for BYU. I bet they want to hang on to the football now. Bosco gives on an inside running play to Kelly Smith, sort of an inside reverse scissors type play, and might have gained a yard. But right now, the thing BYU wants to do is keep that clock running.
And Hawaii can't afford to use their last time out. They've got to save that one for desperation last drive. So they're going to be able to run off with it. Even if they don't get a 1st down here, they're going to get down under probably a minute or close to a minute and leave very little time for Hawaii to make a run at it. Hawaii has got to stop the Cougars from scoring, making a 1st down, and then they have a chance.
2:51 in the game, 8 seconds on the clock to get the play underway. Bosco looks things over and calls timeout. There was something out there that he saw he didn't like, so the Cougars stopped the clock.
Well, that's an interesting call because that's not the thing they wanted to do right now.
Stops with 2:44 left to play in the game. Brigham Young is leading by a score of 18-13. Jay Monson and Steve Young with BYU football, and boy, we've had a tight football game today, Steve.
We sure have. It came down to, it's going to come down to maybe one last desperation drive for Hawaii, but BYU answered the call when it was made. Hawaii went up 13-12. They had 80 yards to go, and Robbie Bosco took them down in about 5 minutes. I'll tell you, a great credit to the offense, having a tough day all day and coming back and scoring the go-ahead touchdown.
2nd and 9 for Brigham Young on the Cougars' 34-yard line. Kozlowski and Bellini wide to the right for BYU. That's Heimuli. Heimuli finds some running room, and he drives forward for a pretty good gain. Heimuli's had a very good game in front of the hometown folks there.
He sure has, and if BYU can get one 1st down here, I think they can almost seal the ball game up. It's going to be 3rd and about 2. Biggest play of the game for the Hawaii defense.
The clock is running with 2:22 to play. Heimuli has gained 72 yards today and 17 carries. They sent a second tight end in now. Lindley is in there, along with Mills. Bellini comes out. Salanoa comes in at fullback. Third down and 2 for BYU. And again, Bosco calls timeout because they just weren't. I think they had an extra player on the field
that time.
They
did. Caused the state in the game. There was some confusion if they were going to go goal line offense or stay in the regular offense. Just a miscommunication. BYU is really helping Hawaii out right now by stopping the clock.
3rd down will come for BYU. 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the 1st down. 1 minute, 59 seconds left to play in the game. It's Brigham Young 18, Hawaii 13. Jay Monson, Steve Young, BYU football. I think that each team has 1 timeout left now. The Cougars have 3rd down and 2. Salanoa comes back out of the game for BYU after the timeout. Here comes Bosco onto the field, as he was over talking to Mike Holmgren, the quarterback coach. BYU 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the 1st down. And if they get a 1st down right here,
they could really run out the clock on them.
That's right.
Big play here.
Everybody in tight this time. There's Kozlowski in motion to the right side. It's Heimuli skirting to the outside. Will he make it? No, he does not. Good tackle by Miano. He's a good football player.
He sure is. He's made a lot of big plays, and this might be the biggest one. They're going to have to punt the ball with about 1:15 left in the ball game. Here's Miano. Watch him, number 38. It's one-on-one. He knows he can't let him have that extra yard for the 1st down. A great tackle on Lake. They're going to let the time probably run down to take the 5-yard penalty and then let Lee jump on the field. I don't know. Maybe they'll go for it.
And there's 16 seconds left on the play clock and 1:23 left on the game clock. And BYU, I think, will, just as you said, Steve, let the clock run down.
Right.
Take the 5-yard penalty.
They're going to have 1:12 to make things happen here.
And that's what happens. BYU will be called with delay of game, which doesn't really make that much difference because Lee Johnson
has plenty of leg to put it back there.
Yeah,
right.
It makes no difference here.
I'll tell you, they let about 2-3 seconds run off the clock more than they should have. If I was Dick Tomey, I'd be pretty upset about that.
1:09 to play, and remember the reputation of this Hawaii team as a punt blocking team. They've had that reputation for 6 or 8 years. And they blocked a punt in this game, which got them back in the game, blocked it into the end zone, and scored a touchdown on it.
I'm sure the BYU coaches have been talking to their guys all last half an hour, telling them about how they've got to stop these guys from scoring. I mean, stop these guys from getting this punt blocked.
Hawaii picked up the football. They claim that, going to make an attempt to claim here that BYU had an illegal snap or illegally handled the ball, and it's a free ball. Shumway is in there to deep snap.
He is their specialist now for deep snaps. They bring him along on the trips just for that purpose. And this is the first this is the biggest snap he's had in his whole life right now to make sure he gets it back to Lee in time to get that punt off. I'm sure Hawaii will sell out. The biggest thing is if they don't block it, don't run into Lee, so then you get the ball back to BYU and the game's virtually over.
Okay, here's the play. 1:09 to go in this game. The snap is right to him. It is blocked. They did block it. They blocked it and will cover it down near the 15-yard line.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. It came right up the middle. This is the big play. Now I think Hawaii offensively have got to regroup, just find themselves, keep their composure. They've got 15 yards to go. Plenty of time, one-on-one with one timeout. Just keep them within themselves. Don't get too excited and just do their job and get in the end zone. They've got to score a touchdown to win the ball game.
They blocked one to win the game, or to score, I should say, in the second quarter. And here they got the block, and they will have the ball 1st and 10 on the Cougars' 16-yard line. 1:01 left to play, and they have one timeout.
They're going to have to get a first down to score. It's not first and goal. They're going to have to get down to about the 6 to get a first down. It's important that they get this first down play, get some yardage.
BYU leading 18-13. Cherry with the ball. Running play on first down, no gain. Maybe a yard and a half. Cherry calls timeout as they ran the clock down to 54 seconds. And I think that's their last timeout.
According to the scoreboard, that's true, Jay. I can't remember the other 2 timeouts. I know there was one earlier in the half, but I can't remember the third one.
Hawaii has 2nd down and 9 on the BYU 15-yard line with 54 seconds to play in the game, and the Cougars ahead by 5.
They really have to get some kind of a play here to get at least 5-6 yards.
Cherry with the ball, looking to pass. Throws for the end zone. He threw it out of the end zone. He just unloaded that one. The only players back there were BYU players. I didn't see a Hawaii player there.
I sure didn't. I don't know where he was throwing it. He didn't have a lot of pressure on him. With that kind of athletic ability, I'd just reverse field and see what he could do on the other side of the field. He looked like he had time to do it.
3rd and 9 with 49 seconds left to play.
To me, they've got to get that first down. Don't go for the end zone yet. Get down inside the 5. Then you got 4 plays to score. I think the play is down about the 5-yard line to make sure they get a first down. At least get down in where they can go 4th and 1 or 2.
Great credit to the BYU defense today. They have played a sensational football game. Now the official stops the clock for a moment, although the game clock was not running, but the play clock was. 11 seconds to get the play underway, 49 seconds to play in the game.
They've reset the 25-second clock. If I was Rafael Cherry, I'd bring my guys back, get him in the huddle again. They've been sitting in the line of scrimmage, but he's not. He's just going to go ahead with the play.
3rd down. Cherry with the football, fakes a run, passes for the end zone, incomplete. Incomplete, covered by, who is covering for BYU? Heyman.
I think he had a step on him. Just a play fake. Cherry will roll left and you look back to his right. The man crossing in front of your screen, I think there's just a little bit too high. He had a step for him.
Yeah, the pass was overthrown.
A perfect pass would have been a touchdown there.
42 seconds left to play, but now it's 4th down and they need 9 yards.
I tell you, Jay, I still think they don't have to go for the end zone. There's no need to fire away at the end zone. Just get down about the 5-yard line.
The Cougars ahead by 5 points. Here's the biggest play of the football game.
This is the football game.
Cherry dropping straight back, throws under pressure, incomplete in the end zone, but he was there.
He really
Gouveia
was.
hit Cherry to throw it, but Murray had the ball go through his hands. He just sitting down in the end zone right now, and you can bet he's a very discouraged young man, disheartened young man.
Would have been a great, great catch. A pretty good throw under pressure. Gouveia hit Cherry just as he let the ball go. You'll see it on the replay, and it's just off his fingertips. Hawaii will be talking about that play for a long, long time.
Well, they're out of timeouts now, and BYU has 37 seconds, so Steve, in 2 downs, they could run the timeout.
And I'll tell you, you go back to that goal line stand where Kyle Morrell jumped over the top of the line of scrimmage to stop a 3rd and 4th and a half an inch.
Or a field goal now would have won it.
That's right. A field goal would have put them in a chance to win it. So
Steve,
they'll be talking about a lot of ifs.
You can even go back to the first quarter when they elected not to go for a field goal and lost the football.
Well, a lot of ifs in football, and there's been a lot of them in this game. They'll be talking about this one in Honolulu for a long, long time.
The Cougars will just try to protect the ball now, and Bosco drops on it, takes a snap and drops on the ball. And boy, we have a pile up, everybody there.
I'll tell you, the Hawaii players, the coaches, the fans have got to be a little bit discouraged. They're going to go away saying, geez, we played the number 4 team great, and we should have won the ball game, but they didn't, and they gave up the plays when they had to make them.
Steve, number 4 teams win games like this.
They sure do, and that's what it's all about.
When you're not playing your best.
And, you know, they've got 1st and goal at the 1.5-yard line, and they don't score. They have to settle for a field goal. That's number 4 teams.
And see, they do not have to run another play, so the game is over. And the Hawaii team, very, very discouraged, disheartened out there. They have, to their credit, played the number 4 team in the nation to a standstill here.